The British National League Game of the Week, brought to you by NTL, the complete communications company, and Morgan Stanley Dean Witter. Hello and welcome to the Fife Ice Arena in Kirkcaldy for number 3 of the Best of 5 series in the final of the British National League playoffs. This is the British National League Game of the Week, and we're going to be seeing the Fife Flyers against the Basingstoke Bison, and it's brought to you with NTL and Morgan Stanley Dean Witter. With me is Fred Polini here in the commentary box, and Fred, really it could all happen tonight. Fife could do it, they've won the first 2, number 3 could be it.
That's right, Peter. I mean, Fife has wrapped everything up this year. They're going for their 4th trophy this year, and in front of their home crowd, supposed to be a sellout here, 3,000 people. Again, they could sweep this series 3-0. But Basingstoke, you know, they come up here, they want to spoil the party.
Well, I have to say we were here a little bit earlier on this afternoon, just taking in some of the sights and sounds of Kirkcaldy, as we always do, and the atmosphere was already getting good only a few hours ago here at the Fife Ice Arena, so excitement already. The players are out on the ice warming up at the moment, and Fred, I think we should look at both teams. Let's look at the netminders first of all, and let's start off with the Fife netminder. That of course is number 31, Stephen Murphy. A wonderful season for young Murphy. Played particularly well in game 2 last Sunday as well.
Well, 2-1 result for Fife on the road, and again, looking at Murphy, this guy's got the best goals against average in the playoff. He played all 10 games. Talking to Charlie Cologne, they just don't know how to beat this guy. He stopped 45 shots last game. Basingstoke outshot by 45-24. So he is the secret. Although they have a potent offense, Murphy is the secret for the Fife Flyers.
What's going to happen with him? Because, you know, he's so young, and yet there's so much that can happen with him. Is he going to stay in Fife, do you think?
Well, this is the talk right now. 17 years old. I mean, he can even, you know, Peter, we're looking at North America. He can go over there for a trial and maybe play a junior A type of caliber, or there's talks of other teams and other coaches right now looking to sign him for next year.
Okay, well, over to Basingstoke now, and of course Murphy's opposite number is number 21, Joe Watkins. Now, Joe Watkins himself, he knows about success. Of course, he was with Fife last season when they won the playoff championship.
That's right, so he knows what it takes to win, especially in this rink. He's not intimidated at all. Charlie Cologne again said that he's very happy with his play. You know, the boys want to play tough in front of him, let him see the puck and make the original saves. Again, he's very experienced, and he loves being in this spotlight right now.
And plenty of men to pick out in the defence for the home side, for the Fife Flyers. You've got the likes, of course, of Ted Russell, but also number 47, Frank Morris, who's such a dominating part of the Fife Flyers side.
Yeah, Frank Morris played 10 games, 7 goals, 15 assists, 22 points. He's just been outstanding in this playoff, leading from the back. He's the captain. You know, we've seen him do some good things in the playoffs, but, you know, 37 years old, and I don't see no tired legs out there in Frankie Morris. And as I said, he is the key, bringing that puck up from the defensive side of things.
And then on to the Basingstoke Bison defence, and of course they've got some experience and also some real enthusiasm in their back four. The likes of Duncan Patterson, number 55, who has done so well in this playoffs and really in the season generally for the Bison.
That's right, Patterson, a different type of defenseman to Frankie Morris. He's a stay-at-home, you know, not great ability or a great talent, but he works hard. He works 110% all the time. He's blocking shots, digging in the trenches, in the corners. He really comes to play, helps out his goaltender in front of that net, and he moves the bodies around. And again, Charlie Cologne, really happy with his play overall this year.
And also, of course, I've actually rather enjoyed the defensive combination of Rick Strachan, you know, Mr. Basingstoke in many ways, and Brian Mason, who, of course, has played for so many teams throughout the league.
Yeah, Strachan and Mason, they both played the game for a long time in British ice hockey. Both of them played over 10 years here, and that's a nice combination. They know what it takes. They both, one will rush up the ice, the other will stay back. There's a lot of experience there, Peter. So, you know, you look to those two guys, Patterson and Newman, they go with that 4-man rotation, and they support one another really well out there.
Let's look at the forwards for both sides, and we'll start off with Fife Flyers. Now, so many names to pick out here, Freddie, and some of the line combinations are quite disturbing, to say the least. Let's talk about number 41, first of all, Russell Monteith. Now, he's done some wonders here this season.
Russell Monteith, 10 playoff games. He's got 28 points, leading the league right now, 14 goals, 14 assists. When he first came in, I know the Fife supporters are pretty picky about their imported players. And when he first came in, he's a big guy, very good with the puck. At first, people didn't know how to rate him. And, after establishing himself by Christmas time, they knew that he was a goal scorer. He likes to carry the puck, set up his wingers, but he's a big guy. He gets in that slot area, and he's got a good wrist shot, and he just pounds that puck away. And as I said, for a big man, he skates well.
Also, of course, the likes of Stephen King and Todd Duthier, of course, up front for the Fife Flyers. And what about the man himself? What about Mark Morrison, number 17 for the Fife Flyers?
Well, he does it all on and off the ice. He plays center between two young British boys, John Haig and David Smith. He sets the tone out there. When his team is behind, he picks up the play. He's still a great skater. This guy, again, back in North America, he was a top draft pick. And, 36 years old, he leads on and off the ice, and he knows what it takes for his team to win. And as I said, he turns the tempo up when his team needs that.
So a few names to look out for up front there for the Fife Flyers. Now on to the visitors tonight. They've got such a tough battle tonight. They're going to be looking to their front men to do the business for them, get that puck past young Stephen Murphy. So let's look at some of the Bison men. Well, we cannot really go anywhere without talking about number 28, Wayne Crawford, of course.
Well, Wayne Crawford, when I look in the top stats, I don't really see him, in the top 20 scoring. He doesn't have more than 10 points, but that doesn't tell the tale. Reggie does a lot of little things right. He's always digging the corners. He's a great skater. He likes that puck in the slot area, but he's a key for the offense. They got to get this guy the puck in front of the net. He's got a great shot, and he goes to the net, and he's got a lot of experience, a lot of playoff experience. So he likes these tight situations, and he'll know what it takes for his team to win tonight.
Someone who I've thought has done particularly well during the playoffs, I've seen some really nice moves from him when we've taken the NTL cameras to Basingstoke, is Drew Burgess, number 11 for the Bison.
Yeah, again, Burgess not listed in the top scoring, but yeah, he does a lot of things right, Peter. He's got a good shot. He gets himself in front of the net. He's hard to push out of that slot area. He digs in the corners. He's a good two-way winger, always helping out on the defensive side of things. And yeah, he's been an impact all year. But again, another guy that needs to step it up tonight and really put that puck behind Murphy.
Now, another player that actually came into the Bison during this Millennium season was number 23, Deb Carpenter. Now, he has made his way into the leading point scorers this season.
That's right. Carpenter, after 10 games, 11 points. He's playing center. He played in the Super League. He knows, again, a lot of experience. He's playing on that top line with Redman and Ellis. Charlie, as he told us before the show, Peter, that he's changed the lineup back to Daniels, Crawford, and Burgess. Is going to keep that unit together, try and get them scoring. So Carpenter, again, really doing a good job at center ice with Redman and Ellis. He'll play with them tonight. And, again, he leads up front. A tenacious forechecker. He's a good skater, and he really gets on the defense and causes a lot of turnovers, and that's his game.
Okay, so here the lineups really, these are the lines you can expect to see on the ice tonight. For Fife, you'll see Tony Redman now, this is for Basingstoke, you'll see Tony Redman alongside Deb Carpenter and Mike Ellis. Also up front, you've got Wayne Reggie Crawford alongside Jeff Daniels and also Drew Burgess now. And then the third line is Clark, Myers and Baird. The defensemen are called Strachan, Mason, Newman and Patterson, with Joey Watkins in goal, but Alec Field as backup as well. For the home side, for the Fife Flyers, these are the lines. You're going to see Stephen King alongside Russell Monteith, who we were talking about. Todd Duthier, of course, a big name here on the ice. He's on that front line. The second line, you've got John Haig and Mark Morrison and David Smith. And then the third line for the Flyers, you've got Samuel Emerson and Wishart, with Morrison, Russell and Moody and King at the back, ahead of young Stephen Murphy, with, of course, Ricky Grubb being the backup for Stephen Murphy in net. So, Fred, it's all set here at the Fife Arena. It's going to be exciting stuff. In your heart of hearts, do you feel it's going to be Fife's night? Do you feel that this cauldron of an ice arena by the end of this evening is just going to be throbbing with excitement?
Yeah, obviously, I mean, it's all built up for Fife. And, again, Charlie just wants to ruin this party. If he can get an early goal or two from his players, they're just going to play patient hockey, sit back. But Fife are going to come at you. Peter, we've covered them a couple times this year. We know that they can turn the tempo up. And they want to end this series tonight. They want to sweep it, end it tonight, win the trophy in front of their home crowd. It's all built up here, and it's just going to make for an exciting match.
Well, as we sit here, this could, of course, be the final British National League game of the week for the Millennium season. Who knows, it could go on as well, or the season at least could go on as well, because there's 2 more games to come after this one if Basingstoke can do the business here tonight. But here is the tough reality. Basingstoke have to win 3 games in a row if they are going to win this playoff championship. The action is next.
That's it. I've had enough.
No annual fee, a cashback bonus award, and more.
Seems to have done the trick.
The Morgan Stanley Dean Witter card. Has your credit card just expired?
For less than £5 a month, NTL can bring you a phone that charges national calls at our local rates. 8 extra TV channels via the wonders of cable, and internet access for just a penny a minute. Whereas BT charges you twice that for just a phone service. So for a package that's got the lot, call NTL now on 0800 183 1234. NTL. Technology tamed.
So here we go, just a few seconds before the action begins with the Fife Flyers against the Basingstoke Bison in Game 3 of the British National League Playoff Championships. This is the night it could all finish. This is the night where the Fife Flyers could add to their league championship with the Playoff Championship. Just seconds away from the action, Fred Fellini, the atmosphere electric here tonight.
Just great in this building tonight, Peter. We're looking forward to a fast and exciting hockey game with nobody holding back and a nothing to lose, everything to gain attitude out here.
Here we go. And it's off, and it's going Bison's way through the neutral zone, flicked up into the boards over the far end, and that'll be picked up. And Bison already with a shot on goal. Murphy having to make a save in the first few seconds of the game and doing it fine, and keeping the Fife Flyers away from trouble. Now then, back to the Fife end, and it comes through and goes down the other end to the Basingstoke Bison, and that'll come back for a face-off. Bit of a hairy start there for the Fife Flyers. Murphy having to do some business there.
But just to start that Basingstoke wanted, good shot on net there. And you look at number 22, Newman, he's out here with Patterson. That's that dual defenseman we talked about. They play really rugged at the back, and they've already, I've noticed for Charlie Coloni's going to change the lines quick out here, and you see they've got a line change already, Peter. So Basingstoke will be coming at them fast off the start here.
They will be going fast, but also maybe with some patience to see what they can do. There's Mason putting it in, and that's going to be picked up by number 12. That's Jeff Daniels. He'll pass it round, taking it back. Strachan punts it back round, and Daniels will pick that one up just behind the Fife net. It goes in. Oh, Fife having to really work hard to clear their lines, and they do so once again, but Bison will come back. And there's Strachan punting it forward. Now picked up by Russell Monteith, number 41, puts in an early shot. Watkins sees it away. Monteith picks it up again, comes back out into the neutral zone, and that'll be taken up by Ted Russell. That'll go over. And then back to Russell again. He's looking around, looking at his options, and Daniel's not looking. It'll be picked up instead in neutral zone. Strachan and Brian Mason back out there. Strachan punts it forward. Just a very pacey start to this game. Just both sides not wanting to give anything away. But here comes Brian Mason down the right, punts it back in. Tony Redman fighting for that. Number 20 puts it in, and that goes into the glove of Stephen Murphy.
You see what Basingstoke's trying to do here? Just get some good shots on net early on, and they've had some. Bird just had a good shot. Redman just had a good shot on Murphy, and this is the key to Fife's success. Is number 21 Murphy, so you got to get the puck past him, get in front of his face, not let him see the puck out here.
Here we go for a face-off then. Down it goes. Flies see it away, goes back down the Basingstoke end. Icing is called for, but not given on this occasion. And Patterson comes back round. Newman takes it out. Comes back to the Flyers. Morris and Carpenter battling it out, but it comes back to Morrison, who passes it over. And then back it comes again for Haig, number 18, but he loses it. And Carpenter for the Bison makes a mistake. Number 73 comes in for that. As David Smith, of course. It'll come back for a face-off. A little bit of a mistake from Carpenter there, mid-ice, Fred Bellini.
Carpenter just coughing it up in the neutral zone. And this is the line of Morrison between Haig and David Smith. The two young guys who got that great speed. And, you know, you give those guys any time and space and they'll make you pay for it. That's the thing that Basingstoke has to stay away from in this game. A lot of stupid turnovers in that neutral zone. This Fife will make you pay for it.
You were saying, Fred, of course, you used to play for Fife some years ago, and the atmosphere electric tonight. This is how it used to be in the good old days, hey?
3,000 plus.
Okay, here we go. Back in the action. Patterson takes it over. There's Redman who'll pick that up. He's got Morris on him. Frank Morris, of course, sturdy defenseman for the Flyers. Now it's back the Flyers' way. Scrappy play at the moment, and Deb Carpenter fighting it out, but in the end, it's putting it away by Todd Dudium. He was able to get that puck away, and now Frank Morris picks it up, tries to clear things up, and that goes over to Ted Russell, who plays it up, and there's Dudium again. Todd Dudium coming into the Bison zone, had to go. Joey Watkins having no trouble with that one.
Joey Watkins standing his ground there, and Todd Dudium just with great speed hits the line, and that's one of his good wrist shots go. You'll see right here, just fires it, and Watkins makes a good save. But Monteith, their leading goal scorer, he doesn't keep his feet. He keeps his feet moving and goes right to the net and looks for a rebound there. But again, Watkins held his ground.
Back for another face-off then. It's fairly frantic action at the start of this third game in the best-of-5 playoff final for the British National League Playoff Championships. And you just feel that anything can happen really at the moment. Both sides are fairly tentative, but at the same time trying to push forward into the other side's respective zone to see what they can make of it. And also the other thing I've rather enjoyed about the Fife Ice Arena, Fred, is always the music that's played in between. It's always slightly different from what you get around the rest of the league.
Are you trying to say the music is behind time here, Peter?
No, I'm just saying it's different. Here we go then, the Fife Flyers. There's Moody, takes a shot. Watkins gloves it away. That's all he's able to do. But Fife are in front of the goal, and they've got a chance here to get someone. But in the end, Watkins goes down, and I think in the end the puck was made safe.
Yeah, young number 14 there. It makes the play. Myers takes his man out in front of the net. What Samuel's back down on his backside. You see right here, Edmonton, number 27, gets a shot on net. Or sorry, comes back to the point to Moody, who gets a shot on net. Watkins makes a great save. And again, Edmonton jumps in on that rebound. But everybody in Basingstoke back to help out Watkins.
That face-off made quick, and actually in the end, Fife had a bit of a go at the goal, but it went over the top. So still 0-0 here in this game. 17-10 still to go in this first period. Fife trying to steal it, comes off the post. Almost in for the Flyers, and skirts scrambling around, and the penalty's being called by the referee. He's seen something, and there it goes, and he needs to take charge of this rather quick. Just beginning to get a little out of hand, Fred.
Yeah, you see right here, Horner not wasting no time and making a penalty call on the Basingstoke player. And young number 16, Myers, will go to the box. He'll sit for 2 minutes, and we'll see this 5-on-4 power play here for the Fife Flyers. And as we know, Monteith, with the playoff record this year, he's no stranger to scoring playoff goals, and he's out here now, and he'll lead the way. And one thing I like about Basingstoke's setup tonight, we talked to Charlie Cologne about playing patient hockey. They're all coming back and helping out in front of that net, in front of Watkins.
Basingstoke Bison, I feel, really matured as a team, certainly since Christmas in the league and into the playoffs as well, which is why, of course, they got this far. Now a chance for Ted Russell to have a little poke, and does so, and then in front of goal, and Joey Watkins throwing himself all over the place, and once again, makes it safe for the Bison.
Well, again, talking to Charlie Cologne before the game, he's really happy with Watkins' play. Here's the man right here. You'll see, again, Russell, 44, takes a shot, but Monteith and King all over that net there, just ready to pounce on a rebound.
Monteith, the danger men for the Flyers once, and here's Frankie Morris having a go. Watkins spills it, but it goes around the back of the net, and another penalty called on the Basingstoke Bison, and that looked to me, Fred, like Rick Strachan really had a bit of a go with the elbow. Yeah,
well, I think he's gone for cross-checking there, Peter. 2 hands on the stick, and Horner give the cross-checking signal right there. And as you say, it is Strachan. And again, Fife now on a 5-on-3 power play.
Well, 16:44 of this first period still to go, so we're very early in this game. 5-on-3 in favour of the Fife Flyers, having a little bit of a group meeting there in the Basingstoke zone. It'll come back for a face-off, but you have to fancy the Flyers' chances now of going 1-up in this game with 5-on-3. Let's see how Basingstoke defend. They've got a job to do. Back to Russell. He'll put it over to Frank Morris. Is Frank Morris going to have a poke at this? Going to put it in? No, he doesn't. In that case, just passes it round. It comes back, however, to Frank Morris. He'll take the shot. No, he won't. He puts it over to Russell. It's a good play. Now Morris puts it in. Oh, my word. Oh, in it goes. Frank Morris doesn't get it, but instead it comes back off the rebound.
That good shot from the point. And Monteith, the power play specialist, in the right place at the right time, just chips a backhand. You'll see right here, the puck is being moved around from Russell. Back to the top point man, Morrison, who gets a shot. Morris. And Monteith just waits on the side door, just chips a backhand right over Watkins' glove and makes it 1-0.
Had to feel a little sorry for Jerry Watkins there. He's played really well. He's been under a lot of pressure in the last few minutes, but when you get a shot like that out of nothing, he was probably pretty stunned by the speed of that. There's nothing he could do about Monteith's reply. Here we go again then. Now the Bison have got to do some business. They've got to make sure that this game doesn't get ahead of them. Murphy hands it over to Frank Morris. And the announcement of that Monteith goal going down very well with the home crowd here at the Fife Ice Arena. And now the Flyers beginning to play some moving hockey. They've got the win behind them now. Monteith once again chasing after that. Newman sees it safe around the back of the boards. That comes to Drew Burgess. And on now to Deb Carpenter. What can the Bison do to get back in? It's so difficult for these visiting sides here at the Fife Ice Arena. They've got to take the chances when they can. And Carpenter on the little spin shot doesn't quite make it. Patterson sees what he can do, but Ted Russell now trying to slow things down for the Flyers, looking to bring things forward. The Flyers now suddenly seem to have just picked up the pace, you feel. Frank Morris up in an attacking position, takes it through, and once again the Flyers almost with a chance across goal, and the Bison desperately trying to get it away from their end and trying to make something so that they can get back into this game.
And you see Basingstoke here just applying some pressure. They've got to stay patient, as you said, Peter. They got to come back, play some good defensive hockey, and take their chances when they can.
Ted Russell, here's Dodd 2GM, took the pass from Ted Russell. Who's he got? He's got Monteith near him, but instead it comes across, and it can be seen away from the Bison back down to Stephen Murphy. He clears that one out, just passes it to the experienced Frank Morris, who goes back behind the goal to have a little look, see what he can do. Up to Ted Russell. He's got John Hagen support, and Hay gets it now, and back to Frank Morris, who charges down the ice, found himself a bit of space. He's got Mark Morrison with him, but Morris going with it himself, but Reg Crawford just getting it off Morris, putting it back down, and misses the glove of number 7, Bill Moody, but Moody now picks it up instead. Here's John Hay, who lets it go once again. Now Brian Mason picks it up for the Bison. And that goes out of play, and you just feel the Bison a little bit stunned by the sudden pressure they found themselves under, Fred.
Yeah, this is not the start they wanted. They've just killed two penalties now. They're behind 1 goal. To get back into this hockey game, they've got to start doing the little things right, pick up their checks in their own end. This is a big ice surface. You see Mason there just threw the puck over the boards. We talked about this, Peter. In this rink, they have no plexiglass or netting around the boards. You could slow the game down all the time by throwing that puck over the boards, and that's what Mason did in that situation.
Of course, we are back to 5-on-5 now in this hockey game between the Fife Flyers and Basingstoke Bison. The referee, however, is going to change that. Once again, there's already another call, and that looks like we're going to go for unequal sides once again. Just looking to see what he's called, and it looks like it's on one of the home players. Yes, it is. It's on number 13 this evening for the Fife Flyers, who's having to go off, and that means it's going to be 5-on-4 for the advantage of the visitors.
Yes, David Smith, he's going to go off for holding, number 73. So we've got a chance now for Basingstoke to get back into this game, and here's the big line that Charlie was talking about. He put back together. Crawford, Daniels, and Burgess. And look for Burgess in front of the net to bang away at some rebounds here.
Let's see what the Bison can do. You've got to take your chances in the Fife Ice Arena as soon as you can. And of course, when you've got a player overlapping, that's the time to do it, as we all know when we watch this exciting game. Now, what are the Bison going to do? Daniels has made his way up front, so has Reg Crawford, skating fast. They've just swapped and taken Brian Mason and taking it through. It comes over. Oh, and there was such a good chance for the Bison. Rick Strachan will pick that up once again, puts it back in. The Bison are going to have to fire away here. Daniels now for the Bison. He puts it back to Strachan. Strachan's got Mason on his left for once, but he doesn't. Puts it in instead, and Mason's going to have to try and block that one from Todd Dutien, but doesn't. And Dutien puts it down the other end. And it'll be picked up by Rick Strachan now.
That's one thing about Fife. When they penalty kill, they don't sit back on their heels. They forecheck all the time. They got good, tenacious skaters out here, and they make it hard for the power play to set up, as Basingstoke is finding right now.
There's Mason with a good shot, but actually in the end, sorry, it was Daniels with the shot, and in the end, Stephen Murphy was able to pick that one out with his left glove.
Really what they want to do in front of Murphy, Peters, they want to set up that play. You see right here, Mason comes over, just takes a shot, but they've got no one really going to the net. They need two guys planted in that slot area. They need guys like Burgess or Crawford in front of Murphy's face, and they've got to set up the puck at the point position and get some good shots on Murphy.
As you were, it was Mason with that shot, of course. Now, where's the puck gone? They were all looking for it for a moment. Dwayne Newman, number 22 for the Bison, punks it back in. Here's Deb Carpenter. He's done well for the Bison this season. He's been quick. He's had some goals. He's done some business when he came in mid-season. Tony Redman battling it out. But in the end, it's still Mark Morrison for the Flyers, battling away with nearly three Bison players. And in the end, it's still Morrison that comes away. And it comes up to Todd Dutiem, who's hooked from behind so blatantly by a Bison player that in the end, you're never going to get away from that.
Exactly. Everybody in the building made that call, Peter. And you see Duneman again, good skating ability, just forces the play right here. Number 44, Alice on the back check, not skating, pulls him down. And there goes Basingstoke's power play. So now we're back to my favorite hockey 4-on-4 here.
What was the decision there, Fred, in terms of that penalty call? Because the Bison obviously just can't afford for Fife to go any further ahead. So obviously Ellis was prepared to sacrifice the power play to make sure Morrison couldn't get through.
Yeah, well, I actually think on that particular position, the defenseman was back. And I think when you're on a power play there, you should let the man take the body. Never use your stick because the referee's going to call these cheap calls on you. And he did there.
Well, Mark Morrison is for the Flyers on this, and he's going to be up against Tony Redmond. To me, on that, it comes back Fife way. It's 4-on-4, as Freddie was saying. It's his favourite. He loves the 4-on-4 hockey. And let's see what happens on this big ice. Now then, here come the Bison. Here comes Deb Carpenter. He's got Redmond in the centre, but in the end, a wonderful bit of play from Moody once again. But it's in front of the Fife net. They had a chance, the Bison there, but it goes begging once again, and it's back down the Bison end with Patterson.
Seen some good action there. Moody making a great play to come back and sweep check that puck off the Basingstoke forward. As you said, Peter, lots of room out there. We'll see some good skating ability out here and stick handling ability.
Here's Wayne Crawford. He's going to have a go, and Murphy has to stand up to that one to touch it away. Frank Morris clears it up behind the back, and it's going to come back for a face-off. It seems to me, Fred, as the league season has gone on, as with these NTL British National Game of the Weeks that we've been covering, 8 games gone by, there's been more action, there's been better skills, it's really warmed up to quite a climax this season.
That's right, and obviously the two better teams have qualified right down to the wire here, so you're about to see the best hockey here, and with this crowd in Fife, everybody's expecting the best out of the Flyers tonight, and we've been told many times that we're going to see the Fife Flyers, the true Fife Flyers tonight, play their best hockey, and we're seeing that right now.
Morrison and Crawford up for it, having a little chat actually beforehand, I think by looks of it, but instead it comes the Fife play, and here comes the Fife Flyers once again, but taken away. Rich Strachan not having any of that. The referee not calling anything, it was just seen as being fair and shouldering away, but in comes Russell Monteith, the scorer for the Flyers tonight. And once again, the Flyers look to be dominating the play. Stephen King having a little look around to see what he wants to do. He's got Smith heading in on net and he wants to put it into him, but instead it goes back. And Frank Morris takes it in. And once again, Todd Dutiem looking to... sorry, not Todd Dutiem, Russell Monteith, that is, of course. Big things for the Flyers. Back to Ted Russell. Are you going to take a long shot? He's going to have a little snap at this one, or is he going to put it across? He finds Russell Monteith, who once again, almost in the same position, he scored his first goal. Didn't get it this time. There's Smith, back to Monteith. Flyers playing around here, really looking to see what they can make of this opening. Here's Frank Morris. Punts it back round. Stephen King's number 12. And it comes over to Ted Russell. Going to take a big shot. Yes, he does. Ooh. You just feel with any of these Flyers shots at the moment, anything can happen. Frank Morris battling away. Now the Bison just really looking to try and get it out of their zone. And it's back with that man Monteith. Now then, it comes over to Ted Russell. Doesn't even seem to be breaking Bison's way, does it? No,
that's right. We talked, Peter, before the game about discipline, and that's what Fife does very well. They're very disciplined out here. They've had 3 power plays right now, and eventually they're going to make you pay. And Basingstoke has to stay out of the box.
Now Basingstoke have got a chance. Number 44 is Ellis. He's got Tony Redman with him if he wants to go, but he goes himself. There is no rebound for Redmond as Murphy tips it away. And instead, it's caught up by Mark Morrison, who has a go in, but Watkins is up to it, is Ellis. Mike Ellis for the Basingstoke Bison. The pace of this game is very fast tonight. Dwayne Newman puts it in, see what anyone can chase after it. Redman may get to it, misses it actually, but instead it comes back. And there's Ellis once again, he's going to have a go. Oh, found by Murphy. Murphy making two massive saves from the fly.
Down and out, and he's still making stops, and there's the difference in the hockey game right now.
You just don't see how he actually saw that shot from Ellis, that first shot. He was blind to that one, and he still got it with his right pad.
17 years old, and that's what makes him the most valuable player in the league.
What a season he's had, Stephen Murphy. Is he going to be at Fife next season? That's the big question, of course. Many people say he is going to be. Now then, here's Mark Morrison for the Flyers. It goes into Smith. Is he going to have a go? Oh, indeed he goes in, but instead it doesn't. It comes back out for the Bison. And here is Redmond. He'll have a go himself. Murphy just blocks that one out. Ellis over the rebound, tries to dip it in, but Murphy had his post covered magnificently. How can you get past this kid when he's on form like that? Rich Strachan calming things down for the Bison. Having to move back though to do so. Myers will see if he can chase after that. But he's got Moody in attendance, and it comes back down for the Fife Flyers. Mark Morrison, he looks on fire tonight. Morrison's enjoying this in front of his home crowd. So much liked by all Fife fans, of course, for the things he's done for the club this season. A magnificent season so far for the Flyers. Yeah, the penalty's been called on that. You saw that play, and the referee's arm went up.
I kind of think that, Peter, that was a cheap call, in my opinion. Smith had to stick on him, but I think that was a little dive by Knights, and he did the right thing for his team. So Smith will sit again for the second time in this hockey game, and Basingstoke really turning on the momentum as of late. We'll see if they can capitalize on this power play.
Oh yeah, Basingstoke aren't going to lie down on this one. They've got nothing to lose really. They're of course two games down in this best of five series. They've got to go for it tonight. They have no choice. Patience is what Charlie Cologne was asking for, but you can't go too many behind, so he'll be looking to get one back now. Here they are then, looking to make some play, but blocked, well defended by the Flyers. Brian Mason will go back and pick that up in his own zone for the Bison. What's he going to do? He's chased all the time by Mark Morrison. They're not letting him go. Instead, though, Mason still has it. Reg Crawford tried to pick it up but didn't get it. And it's put back in by Ted Russell.
And you see right here, Peter, that Fife do not allow Basingstoke to set up. That's the key to their forechecking on the penalty kill.
Here's Daniels. That's going to be picked up by Brian Mason, who tried to go but didn't get it. Tom Duty wasn't sure where it was. Didn't get a stick to it in the end, and it comes back to Brian Mason, who puts it forward. Here's Drew Burgess, number 11 for Basingstoke. He's done some good things in the games that we've seen on the cameras. He's battling away there with Morrison, who just seems to be permanently out on the ice. Here's Daniels. They're going to find someone. Burgess has a go, doesn't get anywhere, goes past the post, and it's coming back out. And here is Todd Dutiem for the Flyers. Tries a twist and turn, doesn't get anywhere with him. Ellis will look to make something of it once again for the Bison. It's non-stop action here at the Fife Ice Arena. Carpenter takes a shot, goes just wide of Murphy's goal. Murphy didn't really see it until after it came back off the boards, to be fair to him. And now it goes back down the other end. And there'll be no icing call. It's going to be picked up by the Bison.
Still on this power play. They really need to get that puck in deep, set it up on the point there. They're just coming in and making these solo efforts, taking long shots. And they're not going to beat Murphy from out there, Peter. They got to get some shots and get in his face and get some rebounds on him.
Here's Redmond. Passes it over to Deb Carpenter. Dwayne Newman trying to pick it up, doesn't make it unfortunately, and Carpenter and Newman are in there with Frank Morris. And in the end it has to come back for a face-off to sort out that little problem on the boards.
As I said, the key to the whole series so far has been young Murphy. He's making outstanding stops out here. He's made 2 or 3 good ones. Basingstoke still on this power play. They have 16 seconds left in it. Time for a face-off to come back to the point. Somebody get to the net. They still have a good chance here to make a set play off this face-off.
Looks like it's going to be Newman and Morrison with this face-off. And Morrison just doing a few bits of direction first. Now goes into it. Ready for it. Here comes the puck. There it goes. Back to number 55. Patterson puts it in and almost has a little go, but Ted Russell bricks it up. Now Morrison will just be happy to get that one away, but got a little bit of attention there from Duncan Patterson, but nothing stopped as a result. Newman forward, and that'll be picked up by Moody, who plays it forward to Russell Monteith. And in the end, it goes for Russell Monteith to chase off on the left. The speed of him tries to get round Patterson, but Patterson almost sees him off the premises. And now picked up in the Basingstoke zone.
Well, Patterson, one of your favorite players out here, Peter, leading by example. taking the man, had 2 good checks out there, and hopefully some of the veterans can see what's happening out there. Patterson, again, you got to slow these Fife forwards down. How do you do that? Take the man. Take away their flow of their game. Otherwise, it's a big ice surface. If you let them take their skating ability, their hockey ability to you, they're going to wreck you out here. And that's exactly the kind of style they want to play against Basingstoke.
Certainly, you get the feeling that Basingstoke have been asked to play a little bit tougher tonight by Rich Strachan, and also, of course, being G'd up on the bench by their bench coach, Charlie Cologne, who himself's got a little bit of a cold at the moment. I said to him before the game, Charlie, not another cold. He says, oh, I'm always ill. It's the British winter. You guys always blame it.
Blame the British winter, yeah. Well, as we said, Charlie has done a good job behind the bench for Basingstoke this year. And he had mentioned to us, Peter, about, coming up here last year with Slough and, stealing a big game away from Fife. He says his boys are prepared. We're not ready to lie down and die. And he expects nothing but 110% from his boys. And they have been in this hockey game, but Murphy's been the difference so far.
Samuel Myers fighting it out on the face-off. Back to Ted Russell, the defenseman, over to Morris, who picks up Gary Wishart. The third line for the Flyers out at the moment, given a bit of ice time. It's 1-0, of course, still to the Fife Flyers, and there's 6:38 to go in this period. 6:38
left in the period, and you look at young Samuels. There's a young big left winger here who's out here with Gary Wishart, and 2 young guys are out there with the veteran defensemen, Moody and Russell, who calm things down at the back. And I noticed with Fife tonight, again, only going with 3 defensemen. Frank Morris, Bill Moody, and Ted Russell. So a 3-man rotation on the defensive side of things.
Strachan trying to get it away. Mason, his ever faithful defensive partner, doing the business and getting away. Only as far as the neutral zone is now picked up. And almost through for the Flyers, but not on that occasion. Here's Myers for Basingstoke. Let's see what he can do. He's looking around, looking for the options. He's got Baird in there if he wants to go, but in the end, he's put to the floor. And there looks to be an injury, certainly a penalty. And in fact, in the end, there's a little bit of disagreement going on. And actually, a punch is thrown as well there, Fred Bellini, getting a bit ugly towards the end of this first period.
I think the original call is going to go to Russell's for roughing. And we'll see what Horner does here. This referee, Peter, has Super League experience, so he's called in for the big game, and it looks like number 16, Myers, is going to go to the penalty box as well. Or sorry, 14, young Baird, he'll go to the penalty box, and Russell will sit out. So those 2 will go off for roughing, and you see the original call where it comes from. You see right here, Russell just putting them both to the ice surface. And then the 2 young fellas say they're not going to take this. They get back up and retaliate, and that's where Knights gets the roughing penalty from.
Interesting, it's left to the third line of the Bison to do a little bit of retaliation there. In the end, they were put in that situation. Were they right to retaliate?
I don't think they were right to retaliate, but I think, Charlie, you're exactly right. He throws them out there to buzz around to try and cause some penalties, and that's where Basingstoke, have got to play smart hockey. Take the extra shot. Let Fife get the penalty on that. Don't retaliate. And I don't think Charlie would be happy with that call.
Well, it's even Stevens. It's Freddie's favourite 4-on-4 once again in the remaining few minutes of this first period. Just over 6 minutes to go. It comes Fife's way. Here's Frank Morris, number 47. And now over to Moody. Then back it goes to Frank Morris coming forward. Morris and Moody, the defenseman on for the Flyers at the moment. Tried to be palmed away by Rich Strachan. I don't think he quite got hold of that. Russell Monteith battling away with Strachan on the boards. It's really turning into a big physical game tonight between these 2 sides. Frank Morris puts it in. Watkins stands up to it, but only pads it away. Players flying all over the place at the moment, it has to be said. And it comes out and is tipped away by Rich Strachan out into the crowd.
That's it. He just throws the puck over the boards. You see right there the crowd giving him a boo because he's delaying the game. Rick Strachan really doing his job out there, taking the man. And I noticed, Peter, every time Monteith's in front of that net, they're clutching, grabbing him. They're not giving him any free space out there.
Well, it's a fascinating game to watch. I hope you're enjoying it as much as Freddie and I are in this commentary box. The first period seems to have absolutely flown by with 5:34 still to go, and it's 4-on-4 hockey, of course. A man from each side into sin bin at the moment. Crawford and Monteith battling, and now it comes back to Morris and goes over for a shot for the Flyers. Here's Morris once again. Is he going to have a go? He does. Watkins just zips it away with his stick. And here's Daniels for the Bison. He's got Patterson going up. Instead, it comes over to Reg Crawford. Now to Patterson. Crawford misses it. Daniels will see if he can put that over maybe to Newman. Yep, into Newman. In his own zone, back to Daniels again. Little bit of passing going a bit astray for the Bison here. And Newman and Daniels trying to work something out together to see if they can put it forward. They've got Patterson and they've got Crawford wheeling away in the neutral zone. And there is Crawford up to Patterson, who, as Fred was saying, has impressed me much in the games that we've been watching in the British National League game of the week here on NTL. And now then, it's Todd Dutiam. He puts it in, but instead it's Newman foils that one. And here comes Reg Crawford, who's been so speedy for the Bison this year. But it's really not connecting at the moment for the Bison. They're trying to make something of it, but it's really not happening at the moment. You just feel they're trying to go away, but here's Patterson. It's blocked away, though, by the Flyers. Patterson will pick that up again. He's going to have another go. Yes, he does. Puts it on and it goes straight into Stephen Murphy.
Nice play by Patterson to force the issue on that particular shot. He just fires it to the net, and Daniels on his feet tips one there, but Murphy in the right place, the right time again, stands his ground, makes a good save. You see right here, Patterson lets his shot go, nice deflection. Murphy right there makes a good save. And Murphy doing a fine job out here. As we all know, the most valuable player of the league. And he just leads by example. He gets more impressive every game out here.
One face-off has gone Bison's way. Bison put it in. Almost Frankie Morris was having a bit of a hug there with Drew Burgess, it was. I'm sure they're the best of friends. Here we go. It's coming in for the Bison, but you just feel all the time the Flyers are just doing enough to keep it out. And of course, as Fred's saying, young Stephen Murphy still keeping it away. Now Rick Strachan joins in, but Frank Morris retaliates for the Flyers. Let's see if he's going to take that all the way out. It's put out and put back down the end. No icing is called on that one. What have the Bison got to do, Fred, to try and get back in before the break?
They're clutching and grabbing right now. They got to dig down deep in the trenches out here, in the corners. They got to work hard. They got to out-battle the Fife Flyers for that puck. Win the battles out here. Get two men on the puck all the time. Right now, it just seems to be one-on-one battles, and Fife are outskate them to this point.
Captain Ellis looking for Tony Redman, but doesn't make it, and instead it comes back for a face-off right the way down at the Bison zone. Good atmosphere here at the Fife Ice Arena tonight on this night where, of course, it could all be over if the Fife Flyers stay in their lead of 1-0, or better, of course. Then it goes Fife's way this playoff championship, and they add that to their league championship. And who knows where we could be in a few hours' time, Fred, if the championship goes to Fife tonight. There's going to be big celebrations.
Yeah, well, they've got one hand on the trophy right now, Peter, and the way it's going right now, they could have two at the end of this match.
Russell puts it forward. Haig's going to pass after that. So is Morrison. Actually, it comes Haig's way, but Morrison is waiting for it over the other side. Let's see what he does with this. He punts it back, but actually Fife are already cleared away from the net by that point. So it's now up to the Bison to see whether or not they can come forward, but they can't, and yet again it's back in the hands of the Flyers. I'd love to see some sort of percentages of the possession in this game so far. You just feel that Fife are never far away from just having that puck in front of one of their players' sticks. Here's Moody. Back to Ted Russell. And now Fife look to build once again with Ted Russell back with the puck, plays it forward, goes all the way up. Icing's called for and icing's good.
Well, Fife with a lot of commitment, dedication, and discipline to their game. It's been no different for them, throughout the whole year. They haven't changed anything. They stay out of the penalty box. They take it to you with their skating ability. They're not a big physical club. And, you think other teams would come in here and learn. And, Basingstoke, Charlie Cologne has to go in between periods and tell his team to stay out of the penalty box. You play good aggressive hockey, but no stupid penalties.
Looks like it's Monteith and Daniels having a go in the face-off. It doesn't really go anyone's way particularly. There's still some battling going on to try and get hold of this puck. But it's Fife's at the moment. Monteith plays it forward. And here is Stephen King. Stephen King charging forward. Goes round the back of Rick Strachan, but is taken down onto the ice. But it's no problem there as far as the referee's concerned. And in the end, Watkins gets his glove on it.
I think on the other side of things too, Peter, Basingstoke talking to Charlie, they just need a few lucky breaks, That happens in a long series like this. Sometimes, you get down there behind the 8 ball here, 2 games down. They just need a few breaks out here to get back into this game and in the series for that matter.
Joey Watkins paying close attention to everything going on around him and has done well so far, and he let one in, of course. And the Bison now have the puck once again. Drew Burgess is number 11. He'll come through the neutral zone with the puck. And there'll be offside call as well, one of the linesmen spotting. I think it was Daniels, number 12, who was actually offside on that particular play.
Yeah, a little bit of interference on Dudeman doing the right thing. Pushed his man offside there. And that's one thing about Basingstoke as well. They've got a big ice surface out here to work with. They've got to move that puck quicker.
2:22 left in this first period of this third game in the best of 5 in the playoff championship finals between the Fife Flyers and the Basingstoke Bison. Monteith and Carpenter battling it out. It comes back into the Fife zone, and let's see what they're going to do with it. It's just punted forward, or lobbed forward really, should I say. There's Dwayne Newman looking to clear it up for the Bison, under pressure however, and in the end he has to get it away, and Ellis plugs it up. There's Carpenter, doesn't get it, and Todd Dutien quick to act on it, but in the end was offside, or had a man offside, so that play stopped once again as well.
Well, Speedy Duderman, and that's where you don't want to lose the puck on him. He jumps into that open space right on the blue line there, number 11. You know, he can put the puck in the net. He's got great speed, flying down that right side, and he's the guy you don't want to lose the puck to around that blue line, because he'll make you pay for it. An offside call there, so we'll have a face-off just outside the blue line here.
Carpenter and Monteith once again. Comes back Fife Flyers way. And put it over. Dwayne Newman is under pressure from Todd Dutien. Gets it away, but Morris puts it back in, and Newman will want to collect and go back behind his net, have a little look, see who he's got out. And now he's got his captain, but instead he goes the other way to Duncan Patterson, who now has a chance to get some space through the neutral zone, puts it forward, and once again the game stops. It's all a little bit stop and start at the moment, Fred Bleedy, as we approach the end of this first period.
Yeah, I think what's happening, Basingstoke trying to take away those passing lanes from Fife, trying to slow the flow of their game down, and you know, it's working for them. They just, as I said, they need a lucky bounce, put one behind Murphy, and then we'll see a tight defensive game out here. And that's not the type of game Fife like, and that's not the type of game the supporters come here to watch. They want to see a free-flowing hockey game out here.
Morrison and Daniels on the face-off, and it doesn't really go anyone's way once again. There's no real clean face-offs going on, it has to be said. Burgess puts it in. Here's Reg Crawford. We'll see if he can pick that up. Daniels does instead. Tries to put it back in. Doesn't make it the first time. Is he going to make it the second? He does, but puts it around the back of the net. There's Crawford just working away, loses a glove, was working so hard. Brian Mason puts it back in, but misses the net. And Rick Strachan and Daniels, but Strachan is blocked out there in superb style by the Flyers, and doesn't like it and holds onto his man, and the referee, no messing about. I think you'll find that we're going to have an unbalanced game once again for the remaining few seconds of the first period.
Yeah, player coach went in there and took a hit from Smith, and Smith's going to go up, third time in the box. You see right here, elbows come up high. Strachan just gives the old glove in the face there, and he retaliates on that particular play, and that's exactly what they need not to do. They don't need to retaliate on these calls. And now they both sit in the penalty box. 2 minutes each here, Peter. Under a minute to play.
Almost, we had a couple of minders in the 5 sin bin there for a moment, but I'm sure that wasn't the case. So anyway, we've got 4-on-4 once again, just to play the final minute of this first period. It's back for a face-off. Let's see how this goes. It's in the 5 zone. Basingstoke have a chance. The shot goes in, goes wide of goal, and Todd Dutien, number 11 for the Flyers, will pick that up. Let's see if he can pick up speed. No, he stays it away instead, and leaves it for Mark Morrison to battle out, along with Dwayne Newman along the boards. And then it comes back Bison's way. They've got a bit of space. Here comes Captain Mike Ellis for the Bison. He's going to have a go, and does. Oh, it just goes wide of goal. And it's teed up by Deb Carbon, and Murphy is still good for that, though. Back ready and saves once again.
Yeah, shots from the left side, from the right side, and as you said, he moves well in that net, covers the angles good.
Well, you can see now why Stephen Murphy picked up so many league awards this season. He really has been playing so well. He played well in the second game, which I was watching a week ago with the likes of Kerry Biette and Tom Brown for the Guildford Flames, who were also at Basingstoke watching the second game. And Murphy's played so well. 2-1, of course, that ended that second game for the Fife Flyers. Just a matter of seconds left of this first period, playing it out. Todd Dutien almost finding some space, almost getting past Dwayne Newman, but not in the end. Referee's going to let that one go as we literally count down to the buzzer for the end of this first period of the game. And there it goes. An absolutely wonderful, wonderful first period of this third game of the British National League final. It has to be said, this playoff championships has been so good. Fred Polini, that first period, it was frantic, a little bit stop-start in places, but overall, some of the skill and some of the determination really coming through.
That's right. I mean, Fife got the start that they wanted. Monteith scoring on the power play specialist out there. Again, Basingstoke need to stay out of the penalty box. Charlie's got to bring him in the dressing room here, tell him not to retaliate. They've got to stay in this hockey game. They've got to take away the passing lanes from the Flyers. dig deep in the corners, and just hopefully get a lucky one here to get back into the hockey game.
Well, I don't know about you, but Freddie and I are going to have a little bit of a breather at the moment. We'll have the second period action for you very shortly.
So long distance. With NTL, you can now call anywhere in the UK, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for the cost of calling next door. Celebrate the depth of distance. Join NTL now by phoning free on 0800 183 1234. Or find us here on the net. NTL. Technology tamed.
Gavin and Black. Yeah, that sounds really good. Well, you reckon you've got some in stock today? Excellent. That's great. I'll take one. Hang on a sec, mate, will you? Yeah. Just last week. Listen, I'm going to have to go. I'll call you back later on and organise it with you then. Bye.
No annual fee, a cashback bonus award, and more. The Morgan Stanley Dean Witter card. Has your credit card just expired?
Here we go then with the second period about to get underway in this big game between the Fife Flyers and the Basingstoke Bison. The Flyers 1-0 up at the moment, and after that dashing first period, Fred Pliny, we're ready for another one, I think.
1-0 to the Flyers, a power play goal again. As I said, Basingstoke need to stay out of the penalty box. They're staying in the hockey game. 18 shots on Murphy they had, so that's and some good quality shots. 14 on Watkins, but Murphy being the difference in the period so far.
I mean, it is. We keep going on about Stephen Murphy, of course, but really, you know, he's had such a good season. It just seems that every single game he plays, he has that big influence on.
That's right. He's the guy at the back, obviously, that makes all the big stops. You know, and he doesn't, you know, I mean, he's one of these guys, Peter, that flops, and I don't think anybody can figure out his style. You know, he goes down a lot. Guys say go up high, but he's got quick hands. He's just been the best all year, and he shows it in the big games. That's what I'm impressed with.
Also tonight, Fred, I mean, you know, obviously the atmosphere has quite an effect on the game. There's only really a handful of Basingstoke supporters here tonight. How much does a Fife crowd influence decisions that are made, do you think?
Well, I think there's been a few in the first period on Horner there. There's a couple of calls that, you know, talking to the players in between periods or the training staff, they said that they thought the influence of the supporters, you know, were on a few of the calls, and I agree with them. They're a big crowd here, and they're going to be fickle. You know, they're behind their team, but I think Horner's been in this position as well. He's reffed some big Super League games, so he has the experience to keep the flow of the game going.
Well, we start this second period, of course, with two players in the penalty box, one player from each side, with just under a minute, in fact, of those penalties still to play. And it looks like we have referee Horner is ready to see it all off for the beginning of this second period of Game 3 of the Best of 5 series in the playoff championship final in the British National League. And you are watching the British National League Game of the Week with NTL and Morgan Stanley Dean Witter. And with me, Fred Pliny, of course, through this game. Fred, an old Fife player, or should I just say a Fife player rather than an old one, Fred?
Let's just stick to a Fife player. It brings back a lot of memories. You know, you see a lot of old faces here, and they truly are behind their team here. And they want nothing but to win, Peter. You know, I remember a lot of nights when you lost, boy, you didn't want to show your face in the bar here, but they love a winner, that's for sure.
A bit of a delay in the start of the second period because the linesman at the moment just fixing the Basingstoke net to the ground, just a little bit, or to the ice, should I say. Just a little bit of DIY work needed there in the Fife Ice Arena, and that's all been sorted, and we are ready for the face-off then in this second period. 1-0 to the home side. The Fife Flyers at the moment just 2 periods away from claiming the big double this season of the league and playoff championships. Here we go, and here's Duncan Patterson for the Basingstoke Bison. Dwayne Newman now having a look round. It goes back to Patterson. And he's got his 2 forwards weaving away in front of him, and Mike Ellis will chase after that, captain of the Basingstoke Bison, and sees it through as well, still has possession. He's got Newman who comes up, and Newman's going to have a try at that, and does. It flicks up in the air, and it's actually in the end gloved away by a Fife player. And now here come the Flyers through to the neutral zone. Patterson picks it up, gloves it down. It's 2 against 2 if he's got a chance. And Ellis nearly got through there with that puck. Just a few seconds left in the penalties for both sides at the moment. So soon it's going to be back 5 on 5. Here's Ellis for the Bison. Patterson almost getting through on it, but in the end it hits his skates.
Well, we see Patterson jumping into the play there, taking that extra step, trying to make things happen for his forwards. And, we know that he plays a good disciplined defensive style, but tonight, not holding back, really jumping in there. And I think that's the way Basingstoke need to play. They need to play a 5-man unit out here. Both defensemen jumping into the play, because that's how you're going to capitalize on Fife.
The Basingstoke bench, concentration, energy, effort, everything is in there tonight. Charlie Cologne, of course, trying to direct things from behind the bench. Here's Daniels and Morrison on the face-off, goes Fife's way. John Haig will come back behind the net to circle away through his own zone. Is he going to keep going? Oh, he slips over. John Haig slipping over on his own ice. Not a usual thing to see. It's to be Cedric Strachan for the Bison now as the puck takes it through the neutral zone. He's got Reggie Crawford to his left. In fact, he's got the Bison up in force. Daniels goes in on net, but Stephen Murphy just picks that one out of the sky.
Little slow start to the period here, but we're back to full strength, back to 5-on-5 hockey here. And as I said, Basingstoke, they need to dig down deep here. They need 1 goal to get back in this hockey game. Otherwise, after tonight, Peter, they get the golf clubs out. It's the end of the season, and it'd be a tough way to end, 3 straight. Peter, I mean, you wouldn't mind going down 3-2 or 3-1, but 3 straight is a tough way to lose.
Flyers buzzing around the Bison net at the moment. You just feel the Bison just cannot relax, but Bison at the moment having a go at the Flyers net. And here, once again, come the Flyers, though he's in, never takes them long. Smith goes into the Bison zone, comes back out. Daniels tries to collect, but doesn't. This time Strachan tries to put it forward. But every time you feel that the Bison try to get things moving, it's foiled time and time and again by the speed and the commitment, really, of the Fife Flyers tonight, Fred.
Yeah, they're just playing good disciplined hockey, staying up and down. Their wings really breaking up the pass from the Basingstoke players and making it hard for them.
Here we go now, Bison with a chance. And here's Daniels, who just wheedles it around, almost tried for a deflection, instead it comes back out. And you do feel that the Bison do seriously have some good chances of getting some goals tonight. Indeed, they outshot the Flyers once again in the first period, outshot them big time in the second game of this best of 5 series as well. So it's not as though they're not getting the shots on goal, it's Murphy and some of the discipline of the Flyers that just seems to be making the difference.
Yeah, and it really tells me the story about the kid. Again, we're always going on about him, but, no one's really figured out his weaknesses. Only 17 years old, he flops all over the place. You would think he'd go high on a goalie that goes down all the time, but I really, very rarely talk to the coaches. No one's really figured out Murphy's weaknesses out here.
Bison having a chance on goal, but not taking it in the end. Is he going to come back out? Third line on for the Bison at the moment. Doesn't get resolved at the board, so it'll come back for a face-off. Just going back to Murphy there, Fred. I remember when we were covering the Hull Fife game in the end of the group stages of the playoff championship. I think you mentioned to me that Donny DePoe from Hull had said, look, Murphy does this butterfly thing. He goes down quite a lot in the butterfly formation. And actually, that night he didn't at all, and I haven't really seen him do it since.
That's right, and they said you got to go up high on him, but we actually seen 2 goals down low on him through the 5-hole.
Yeah.
So I think the key is Peter getting in his face, not letting him see the puck.
Okay, here we go, back in play now. Bison trying to get something back now. Ted Russell for the Flyers will see that one away. The Flyers always seem to be ready. In fact, over on this far side, let's see whether or not it comes over there, but Samuel was ready, but in the end, it's taken forward, and actually Dwayne Newman will clear that one up. Now then, here comes the third line for Basingstoke Bison in the shape of number 14, Michael Knight. Baird coming over to help out as well. And it's stuck on the boards once again. Is the referee going to let it go? And in the end, it's palmed out. Newman's going to come in on that, see if he can take a shot. Murphy down low on that one and sees it away. Myers trying to get it back round, but it doesn't. Comes back the Fife Flyers way, and the Flyers once again have a chance to break out. But Basingstoke aren't going to let them get out too easily at the moment. They've really got to go for this game. They're 1-0 down. They can't afford to go further down, because you can just get the feeling this is going to be a very, very tight game. That's going to come back for a face-off.
Well, Basingstoke applying some pressure. They're really not turning the level up here at the tempo of the game, but applying some pressure. Again, just trying to get the puck on net. But the key to scoring goals is not just getting the puck to the net. You've got to keep your feet moving. You've got to get in front of the face of Murphy, not let him see the puck and crash and bang on some rebounds. Charlie Cologne trying to keep his boys pumped up here. And these guys know they're in a hockey game here. You look at the faces, guys like Reg Crawford and that, they just can't figure out what they have to do to beat the Fife Flyers.
Either coach, however, reluctant to put out their third lines, it's nice to see tonight. So plenty of ice time being given to all players who are dressed tonight for both sides in what is the most important game they've played for a while. Now then, here's Rick Strachan, number 4. Is he going to try a shot? He does. Oh, it whips in, but it goes past one of the pipes on Stephen Murphy's goal. And here come the Flyers once again, wanting to make something of it. Doesn't go their way this time, and Mike Ellis, the captain of the Basingstoke Bison, charges into the Basingstoke zone. He's got Tony Redman with him, Deb Carpenter as well in attendance. Wants to see what they can make of it. Here we go, here's Mike Ellis. He puts it in, tries to put it in once again because it bounces off a Fife player. And you just feel that Bison can make something of this. They just have to keep applying the pressure. And there's Deb Carpenter. Rick Strachan will try and collect with that. He's got Brian Mason with him on the other side. If he wants to use him, he may well do. But instead he puts it across, and Deb Carpenter tries to pick that one up. Fife just looking to get it away all the time. And that'll come back for a face-off as the atmosphere, once again here at the Fife Ice Arena, really hots up in the second period.
And you know, Peter, here's an interesting stat. These teams met each other 10 times this season. Fife winning 7 times, drawing twice, and only lost once to Basingstoke. The majority of their games they've won by 3 goals or more, so they totally dominated, the Basingstoke Bison this year.
Well, 15:54 still to go in this second period. Plenty of time for either the Fife to extend their lead beyond this 1-0 that they have at the moment, or for the Bison to come back into the game. You still see off the pucks a little bit of tussling going on between players. It's more physical than really mainly both these sides actually have been used to so far this season. Here's Russell Monteith, the scorer so far tonight. Todd Dutian, nice collection of the puck there on the back stick. Lovely stuff. He puts it back round. And Basingstoke Bison will try to get rid of this, but instead Frank Morris has it. He's going to have a go, and does, but it gets deflected. In fact, gets deflected, and I didn't see where the puck ended up, Fred. It just went out of the rink.
That's a nice play by Newman there to dive in front of that play and make Watkins' job a little bit easier. Frankie Morris goes off, gets a line change. He didn't have much time to shoot that puck. You see right here, Newman goes down, sacrifices his body, makes a block shot, and they still can't find the puck. It might be in the bar.
Interestingly, the ceiling of this Fife Ice Arena is a sort of foil-type insulation, I would guess it is. And I think actually that the puck finds itself inside one of the flaps of the ceiling. So in many years to come, one day a puck will suddenly fall down, I think, from the ceiling of the Fife Ice Arena. Who will be the lucky person to get that one? And were they here to see perhaps the Fife Flyers gain that playoff championship that they're looking for? Here we go. The Bison, though, seems as they can get back into the game. Duncan Patterson, number 55, goes across to Dwayne Newman. They'll put it forward, but no one waiting there for the Bison, and instead Stephen Murphy just, a little mistake there, almost a mistake I saw there from Stephen Murphy, but he cleared it up in the end.
He did clear it up, but that's the kind of bounce with a little luck that Basingstoke need, just to get that little bounce in front of the net and maybe a free shot, but Crawford hanging around that crease area. You see right here, puck comes out, but Murphy jumps on it. Crawford just waiting there for any loose rebounds, and nothing happens. Again, Murphy just making up for his mistake.
This is a tight hockey game, and you feel that both sides are not wanting to give too much away at all. Here's Newman going to have a go, but it gets deflected off it to the netting. And now here's Duncan Patterson. Nice turn from Patterson once again. Here's Deb Carpenter for the Bison, seeing if he can get a deflection on it. Tony Redman won't be able to collect it. Dwayne Newman does. And a little bit of tussling once again for 2 of the players, and one of the Basingstoke players, rather than the puck, actually found themselves in the back of the net.
Yeah, you see right here, Horner just calling for the face-off outside because of interference in the crease in front of Murphy. And Peter, you kind of get the feeling right now that the tempo slowed right down. Basingstoke has owned majority possession of this period, and they've got Fife in their hands right now, because Fife plays that free-flowing game, and they're not doing that. The crowd, you really don't hear the crowd much in this period. I think Basingstoke kind of lulling Fife to sleep here. If they can capitalize, they got Fife where they want them.
Well, this is the patient game that Charlie Cologne was talking to us about. He came up into our commentary positions, in fact, just up on one side of the rink to have a little chat with us, and I just said to him, Charlie, what have you got to do tonight? And he said, patience, patience, patience. And you may be seeing this coming true in this first period. Basingstoke weren't really able to play their own game. But now Fife down, Basingstoke's end. They're all over them once again. You just have John Hay getting into a little bit of a tussle. But it comes back out down to the Flyers' end. Ted Russell will chase. After that, some off-the-ice disagreements going on between a couple of players. That's going on a lot at the moment. You feel the tension is still there, even if Basingstoke are patient. Mason from defence up into offence there for the Bison. He's still got the puck. He's going to see if he can put that one back in. It doesn't. Comes back out into the neutral zone. Picked up by the Flyers' Russell Monteith, who plays it back through the defence. And the crowd you hear in the background there just seeing little incidents off the puck that the referee doesn't appear to be seeing, and almost a chance goes begging once again for the Fife Flyers as they bear down on the nets. The third line out once again for the Basingstoke Bison.
Yeah, this line of Clark, Myers, and Barrett, they get out here and they work really hard. They just mix it up and stir it up all over the ice. They're buzzing around and off the play. They're really, taking their man, and they make it exciting for the hockey game.
Flyers now coming forward. Stephen King had the puck, now over to Todd Dutiem. Takes it around the back. He tries to get a wrap around, but not at home when he got two players. The caliber of the Bisons there. Todd Dutiem still wheeling around, getting hold of that puck, trying to make something of it. He's got Monteith with him, but it looks like the referee's calling a penalty. Yep, it's on the Basingstoke Bison. Rick Strachan's going to be going off once again for the Bison, and that takes it down to a 5-4 game in the Flyers' favour.
Well, there you go, Strachan. He knows. He's bitter about this call. He thinks Horner's going a little over the top and listening to the reaction of the supporters. But you'll see right here, on this particular play, he goes in, takes his man out, holds him into the boards, runs a little interference, and Horner comes up, I think, a little over the top there on that call, Peter, and calls him for holding. So he'll sit for 2 minutes, and again, another power play for Fife.
Rick Strachan not pleased with himself, or not pleased at least with the fact that he's in the sin bin at the moment. Here's Frank Morris for the Fife Flyers into the Basingstoke zone. But it comes out once again, and in fact Frank Morris himself will chase after that. Stephen Murphy will just tip it aside for him. Close attention of Deb Carpenter just trying to catch him, but doesn't. And here comes Morris with plenty of space. He loves the space. He comes through the neutral zone. He's got Duty on his right, and he's got Russell Monteith over on the far left, and also King just behind him. And Monteith will see if he can get into that, but Newman gets to it first, and it clunks out of the rink.
How many times have we seen that this year with Frankie Morris? Number 41 there, just chipping the puck over the boards, but Frankie Morris, 47, just right through that neutral zone, starts the play from his own end, right through the neutral zone, comes in, tries to set up the play. He's the quarterback on the play, Peter. He sets it up, he gets over that line, he'll stop, forwards will go to the net, one guy in the slot area, and Frankie, the quarterback on the play, does a lot of skating on these power plays.
12:40 left in the second period, and about a minute and a half left still of this power play for the Fife Flyers, and having a chance to go further ahead. And here they come. Here come the Flyers, urged on by their crowd here at the Fife Ice Arena. Todd Dutiem has it, King's in, Russell Monteith's in, and Frank Morris as well. What a combination of players. When you say those names, you know you're watching quality stuff. Here comes back to Ted Russell, another quality man. Stephen King now. Twisting and turning in the neutral zone under the close attention of Drew Burgess. Now back to Ted Russell. On it goes to Todd Dutiem, and actually Dutiem uses that. And it goes back up to the Fife zone, and Frank Morris will just nip back to collect, and they'll build again to see whether or not they can increase this score. But no, Patterson, sturdy Duncan Patterson, just putting it away and goes off for a line change. And on comes Reg Crawford for the Bison. Coming through the neutral zone now. Here's Todd Dutiem. They are in a power play, but only 30 seconds left of this, and they've not really been able to get too close to the Basingstoke net, so all credit to the Bison. And here's Brian Mason. He punts it away, quite happy to do that.
Well, Basingstoke doing a good job on this penalty kill in all three zones. In the offensive zone, they're forechecking well. In the neutral zone, they're picking up their checks. And defensively, they're strong in front of their net. So right now, doing a good job on the penalty kill with only 10 seconds left in Strachan's penalty.
Crawford just puts that forward. Here's Mike Ellis looking down to see whether or not he can nip behind, and does nip behind. Is he going to get that through? Oh, a wonderful save again by Stephen Murphy.
Nice play by Ellis to beat his man there. But there's that man again, Murphy. Holding up the fort.
Not often you see the Fife Flyers being got around the back so easily there, and still Murphy was able to.
You see right here, Ellis steals the puck off of Frankie Morris, and Murphy makes a great save. 44, Ellis, the leading scorer for Basingstoke, and he's going to be bitter he missed that opportunity.
Murphy seems to be so quick to be able to get to either of the pipes. I mean, I know an ice hockey goal is not the biggest goal in the world, but other goaltenders, other netminders have problems. Murphy seems to be able to cover those corners so quickly.
That's the key to his success, is his agility. He can move very quick. He's very fast, his reflexes. He's only a young guy, and that seems to be the key to his play.
Here we go then with the Fife Flyers. So it's back to even Stevens, 5 on 5 once again. Full sides out. Here's Moody getting all the way through. Lovely move from Moody for the Flyers, but dispossessed by Brian Mason, who now just holds it. Takes it forward, and here comes Reg Crawford having a go. Murphy's up to that without much trouble. No rebound for the Bison on this occasion. And up it comes again. Good play from the Fife Flyers, clearing their lines quickly. Smith now forward into the zone. Leaves it for Haig. Back to Smith. Oh, some wonderful play from Flyers, and Watkins is able to get that away.
Just when you think you've got him, Basingstoke there, you see Fife come back, and a nice play by Haig and Smith. Smith had Watkins down and out, but he left it to pass, and they just couldn't put it away.
Here's Haig, and once again, we see, in fact, that was Frank Morris, no, it wasn't, it was Mark Morrison with a chance on goal, but denied. And, you know, there's just no sleep for the Bison at all here. They played their patient game so far in the second period, so halfway through the second period, in fact. Here's Brian Mason, he'll take a shot. Murphy goes down, and that pads it away with his left. Carpenter chases after it for the Bison. It comes back to Duncan Patterson in the neutral zone. Both sides are now woken up again for this second half of the second period, and both sides feel they can still do something. Carpenter has a little shot, turned away from Murphy, no trouble at all. That's how those shots accrue against Stephen Murphy.
Well, woken up is right, Peter. The wake-up call has gone off in this period, and some good end-to-end action here now.
Morrison now charges forward. He's got Haig on him as well if he wants, but instead he's taken away some good defensive work there from Dwayne Newman. Tony Redman now with it. Lots of little tussles going on off the puck at the moment in this game. It's very, very edgy, very, very tense. Only one goal in it, of course. Fife leading 1-0 with 9 minutes still to go in this second period.
And here we go, Basingstoke now on the transformation here. They're just... Fife will stand up in this neutral zone, and they'll just keep breaking up the play. But as I said, some good end-to-end action, and someone's about to score here.
It's Monteith. Monteith takes a go. That doesn't get deflected, and it goes over past Watkins' net. So much tension, and just both sides taking more hits, making more hits than I've seen either of these sides do in the last few weeks.
Yeah, you kind of get the feeling the first 10 minutes, as you said, Basingstoke slowing it down, but somehow Fife, you can't keep them down forever. They just pick up their flowing game, and it came down to that Haig-Smith combination and Morrison to pick up their play, and they seemed to got the jump on that last play, and it broke up the other lines, and now Fife seemed to be back in the hockey game here.
Do the players feel it when you know the tempo picks up, or is there actually a conscious decision to pick the tempo up? Fred, how does that work?
I think the players feel it. I see, they see the player coach going out there leading by example. They're saying, like, let's pick up the play here. And, the line combinations of Fife, that's what's scary about their hockey team.
Ted Russell puts it round the back. It's picked up by number 15, Andy Samuel. Rick Strachan now, trying to get it away from his zone, just trying to get that puck down the other end. They were doing so well, the Bison, against the Flyers, but now it's all picked up and the Flyers are very much back in this period. Here's Baird for Basingstoke under the attention of Gary Wishart, and it'll be stopped and brought back to a face-off with 8:12 to go in the second period.
Well, you see young Knights here just trying to rough up Moody, and Moody just holding on to his aggression, just being very disciplined. He can't believe he's going to get a penalty for that. You see, he did the right thing there, Peter. But you see on this particular play, he'll go to the box now. Horner not taking anything from any of the players. But this last play here, you see the two young British players fighting for the puck. And young Baird there just takes a shot. And Knights and Moody, how many altercations has Knights been in tonight? He's just trying to stir it up all the time.
Is that what the third line do you think is doing for Bison? Is that what Cologne's trying to do?
I think so. I think Charlie's getting that third line out there, getting in the faces of these boys, especially the imported boys, especially the defensemen like Morrison, like Moody, like Russell, and he's got Myers and Knights right in their face, trying to stir it up, trying to get them off the ice. Charlie Cologne doing a good job. You know himself, Peter. Charlie is an intense guy, especially when it comes to the hockey here, and he'll get his boys fired up here.
Here we go then with power play then in favour of the Basingstoke Bison. This is when they've got to try and make it all count, but at the moment it's the Flyers that are coming forward, short-handed into the Basingstoke zone. A wonderful bit of play and a wonderful flowing hockey from that man, Frank Morris, just coming forward. He loves to do that.
He loves to just skate with that puck. As I said, he does marathons in the summer, bike marathons, and he just loves to open up on this big ice surface. And again, he's the quarterback out here. 37 years old, been in the country since 1986, and he hasn't slowed down.
Frank Morris, of course, was the man that put in that winner against Hull at the end of those group stages where we were actually watching with 47 seconds to go. He is, of course, number 47. Maybe it was meant to be on that particular day, which took the Fife Flyers forward into the semi-finals of the playoffs. They're now in the final. It's game 3 of the best of 5. And you're watching them leading 1-0 against the Basingstoke Bison here at the Fife Ice Arena. Some big hits going in. Patterson really took out Mark Morrison just then, wanted to let him know he was there, and got away with it as well. Here's Drew Burgess for the Bison, skillful Drew Burgess. We've seen some good skill from him in this programme in the last few weeks. Patterson scrambling away. Here comes Mark Morrison now for the Fife Flyers. Tries to get it through, goes to Frank Morris instead. He's going to flick it back. Morrison's in the slot if he wants to go, but it comes back out. And then way again for the Bison.
Well, we had 2-on-1 one way, now 2-on-1 the other. Daniels controlling the play, and he just can't beat Murphy there.
Daniels really always up for it. Daniels always looking at that he could go in, and he still goes with it. But now it's a breakaway. Todd Dudiam comes down the ice for the Flyers and checked away by Rick Strachan, and a penalty call.
Yeah, you kind of wonder, maybe Carpenter calls holding, but Peter, you kind of wonder if he had a stride or two on Strachan, maybe a penalty shot would be called. And that's what the supporters want. They're waving to the middle of the ice. They want a penalty shot.
Those are the sort of decisions that really hot things up. Talk us through this, Fred.
Yeah, you see right here, Strachan all over Dudeman, brings him down. He had a step or two on him. And usually when you got a step or two on the fella that's trying to catch you, and you got open space there, a penalty shot is called, but not on this particular situation.
Well, Strachan not afraid to take those sort of risks and get himself into the sin bin. And we've got to remember that we've got all sorts of penalties around at the moment. We've got a couple of penalties, of course, with 2 players sitting out, and also we've got Rick Strachan now in the box. So we're looking at a 4-on-3 hockey game at the moment, although actually at the moment it looks like they're having a little bit of a decision to work out exactly who's on the ice. Some line changing going on fairly quickly. Now they're back at it, and onto the face-off. Let's see what they can do. 5 Flyers here. Here's Frank Morris, playing great tonight as far as I'm concerned. Over to Ted Russell, another experienced defenseman for the 5 Flyers. And now at Todd Dudiam, he's going to turn and twist and see what he can do. Russell Monteith, number 41. Such a lot of goals for the Flyers this season. He's going to add another one. Nearly does, but Watkins gets his glove on the top of that. Frantic stuff now, Fred Polini.
Yeah, 4-on-3 hockey right here now, Peter. And what happens is Basingstoke will stay in a tight triangle, and they'll try to force Fife to shoot from the outside and not let them inside that triangle. And as you said, Fife got some quality players out there right now. Monteith, Kuhneman, Russell, Morrison. It doesn't get better than that, Peter.
The Basingstoke have Mason and Ellis and Reg Crawford, and of course Joey Watkins in goal to see whether or not they can just keep this out for the remaining 24 seconds of this power play, and then it goes back to 5-on-4. Here comes Fife. There's Ted Russell with a shot, and it goes actually out of the arena. No plexiglass, of course, in this ice arena, so when the puck goes over the boards, it goes over the boards.
It really slows the play down that way. Basingstoke don't mind that. You see Russell takes a shot from outside. We call that the perimeter area there, and Reggie Crawford forced that issue, got a stick down, tipped the puck over the boards, and he's like, well, you can shoot from out there all day, because you're not hurting us from out there. Russell, who carries a lot of ice time, played in Peterborough last year, doing a fine job for the Flyers this year.
Ellis and Monteith about to fight it out for the face-off. There it goes. Comes back Fife's way. Comes back Frank Morris's way to Russell Monteith. He's got Dudiam around the boards if he wants. Sorry, Ted Russell around the boards. Doesn't find him, and in the end, the Basingstoke Bison get it away, and it's about to come back to a 5-on-4 right now. 5-on-4 game. It is as 2 penalty sitters make it out of the sin bin. Here come the 5 Flyers with Todd Dudiam, speedy Todd Dudiam through into the zone, and now it's back to Mark Morrison. Dudiam behind the goal. Morrison, he's got Frank Morris also. He's got Russell Monteith, that man. So many goals to his name. Now then, back to Frank Morris. Is he going to have a go at it? No, he tries to take it back round the boards. Russell Monteith gives him space. Close attention of Reg Crawford, who's just as good at defence as he is in attack. Such an experienced hockey player. Mike Ellis almost received some space pass there. In the end, Tony Redman having to face for it.
Basingstoke doing a nice job on the penalty kill. Really doing a good job in front of Watkins, and really forcing on the forecheck and causing some turnovers here and making it hard for the power play for Fife.
The 244s battling it out over there, Ted Russell and Mike Ellis, and in the end it comes the Basingstoke Bison's way with Tony Redman, but he in the end can't make anything of it, and here come the Flyers once again in the form of speedy Todd Duty. And look at him going up the ice. Look how quickly he gets in there. And look how Joe Watkins got down with that shot.
Well, I'll tell you, he beat Watkins through the 5-hole there. Good thing that deflected wide.
Tony Redman. Frank Morris now back in the neutral zone for the Flyers. Lifts it over, back into the boards. Mark Morris is trying to chase after it, but Patterson denies his ability to get anywhere with that. Rich Strachan on the ice now, forward through to Drew Burgess. Pushes that nicely forward to Dwayne Newman. Newman puts it back across, doesn't connect with anyone, and Patterson will pick that up on the blue line. Back into the neutral zone for Patterson, who still finds it, and looks a lovely little play from Patterson. Really turns it on when he wants his. Drew Burgess back in, and Daniel's going to get there. He doesn't instead. Smith has a chance to get through. Newman blocks him out. Really exciting stuff, and we're going to have to take a breather here, and just in time for a face-off.
Yeah, you see the Fife Flyers trying to jump into those open positions, but guys like Patterson, Newman, really doing a good job in that neutral zone, really taking the one-on-one situations and forcing these guys to the boards. But Fife, they just keep coming at you, Peter. We've seen this time after time with them. As soon as you lie back and sit back on your heels, Fife will just come right back at you in full motion here with their line combinations. It's scary. They really make a lot of good things happen. I think right now they're just overpassing a little bit in front of that net. You know, no one really taking authority and shooting the puck. They're trying to make one too many cute plays out here to Fife Flyers.
4:27 left in the second period. It's 5-on-5. Everyone even. Stevens now. All the penalties done and dusted. And now here's Mark Morrison for the Flyers. Back in his own zone. Taken out again. But gets himself up. And here's Daniels for Basingstoke Bison. Mason over to Rick Strachan, who puts it forward into the neutral zone. Here's Daniels, who's played well tonight. Reg Crawford hasn't really seen the big moves from Reg Crawford that we've seen in other games so far. But with obviously plenty of time still to go on that. But at the moment it comes Fife's way. Lovely little bit of 1-2-ing going on. Some great passing from the Fife Flyers. Look how quickly they get it back up the ice, with the passing and with the speed at the same time. Wonderful skill. Here's John Hay. He'll pick it up behind the net. Oh, tries to go for a wraparound, but just falls over. And now the Bison go forward with Rick Strachan in command. Daniels he's got with him. He's got Daniels just heading in on goal if he wants to put it back to him, but doesn't. And some line changing going on. A bit of confusion. No one to pass to, and it comes back down the Bison end.
Well, that's one interesting comment about Reggie. You know, maybe not on the offensive board, he's not really making anything happen, but defensively he's doing a fine job, and that's the key to Basingstoke right now with their veterans. Defensively, they're all picking up their checks, and here's one man they have to get on.
Great pass from Monteith to Duty. What a wonderful, wonderful pass, but offside for the Flyers in the end, and they'll come back for a face-off to start off the play again with 3:10 to go in the second period.
How scary is that, Peter, when number 11 gets that puck on the right-hand side in full motion? He's the guy. They've got to put somebody on him. You see him right here, right through the neutral zone, just picking up speed, beats Newman, but King is offside on the left-hand side, and that's why the whistle goes. But when he breaks loose, he's scary with that puck.
And I have to say, a wonderful pass from Russell Monteith, which was skillfully picked up as as DCM got around Newman. It was a good pass as well, so some nice combination there from the Fife Flyers, which once again is coming through in this game. They still lead 1-0, of course, in this second period of the third game of the British National League Playoff Championship best-of-5 series. Of course, Fife 2-0 up in the series. This will do it tonight. If it stays like this, all gets better for the Flyers, of course. Here's Russell Monteith. Through the neutral zone, tried to get Stephen King, didn't make it, and that'll come back for a face-off once again.
The face-off goes down. There's still a 1-0 hockey game here. So Basingstoke are well and truly still in this game. Guys like Russell, Frankie Morris, and Moody, you know, 3 defensemen. We haven't seen much of Derek King out here, number 3, in front of Murphy. So you kind of wonder, Peter, we always ask this, are they going to get tired? When are they going to wear down? They never seem to. They're in such good shape. You know, they play good hockey, good smart hockey, and it never ever hurts them.
Actually, they're still playing the Proclaimers at the Fife Ice Arena. Now then, the Basingstoke Bison all over the Flyers net. Here's Mike Ellis, puts it back in. And there's a scramble going on. Basingstoke just desperate to try and get that puck in. Referee, good decision, lets it all go. Here's Russell Monteith, just happy to punt it away just to give the Flyers a little bit of a rest. So big scramble in front. You just feel that the Bison are so desperate to get this goal that almost they're outplaying themselves.
Yeah, they just need that one goal to break the camel's back, to get back in this game. And you see right here, Monteith just crashing here, trying to fight for the loose puck. Russell just throws it in the corner. And that's where Basingstoke, they got to, they're not getting outgunned in front of that net. They've got to beat their man to the puck. And again, get some shots there. Get in front of Murphy's face. It's easier said than done, but they have to do it if they want to win this hockey game.
Frank Morris with the puck now, trying to get it away. Close attention from Drew Burgess. Very, very committed to Bison tonight. But through we go with Morris once again, having a little shot. Doesn't get anywhere. The rebound doesn't get picked up by a Fife flyer. Instead, Burgess will chase after that from Rick Strachan, but instead it comes Moody's way. And he'll just try to clear that up, bounces it off the boards, picks up by Stephen King, who plays it forward. He's, of course, got Russell Monteith once again with him. What's he going to do? He's going to put it over to Moody, who'll bring it forward. And it comes back here, speedy Todd Dutiem, who's got Monteith bearing down on goal. What's Monteith going to do? He's actually moved off the puck. Close attention of Mr. Strachan once again, but the referee saw nothing.
It's funny, Strachan, as you said, you called that last play, Peter. As soon as he makes the play, he looks to the referee right away. And I think he reacts to the supporters out here, because the supporters seem to make the call for Horner sometimes. But Strachan doing nothing wrong there. You see right here? Kind of brings his player down. You kind of wonder on the stick play there. But that's what Strachan is good at. He runs that interference, does his job in front of the net. Kind of been a 50-50 call there, but I think Horner did the right thing letting that one go.
1:48 to go in this first period, still 1-0 to Fife. Here comes a shot from Morris, turned away by Joey Watkins. Now then, Dwayne Newman. What can he do for the Bison to build this up, see whether or not they can get on equal terms before the break? And here's Patterson, one of my men of the match so far. Mike Ellis' 3 on goal if he's got a chance to put it back in and doesn't. And in the end, it comes back behind the net, and it's, actually the whistle is blown, and it'll come back for a face-off with 1:32 to go.
You kind of get the feeling Captain 44 Alice is the guy that can break this game open. You see right here, he chips one loose, and he just couldn't get enough wood on that shot. But he's the guy I think that can really break this game open, Peter. He's got great skill. He's playing on the wing. He's normally a centerman. He's the captain out here, and I kind of get the feeling he's the guy that can get the team back in this hockey game.
Well, it's a tight game like it was in the second game between Basingstoke and Flyers. That, of course, ended up 2-1 to the Flyers. And with Basingstoke almost out shooting their opponents that particular game 2-1. And there's been a lot of shots on goal on Stephen Murphy's goal, but of course he's seen them all off so far. Here is Tony Redman for the Basingstoke Bison. Is Murphy going to show off this attack? Let's find out. He's got it all the way around the back, goes back to Patterson. He's going to put it back to Redmond. He's got Deb Carpenter in the centre, and he also had Mike Ellis as well, who Fred was just talking about. But in the end, it stopped once again, and we'll have another face-off.
It's 1 goal in it, Peter. And Basingstoke, last game, they got beaten 2-1. Tonight, they're losing 1-0, so they're having trouble scoring goals past Murphy. But let's give the Fife Flyers, they're noted for their offense, but all of them are working hard defensively. And that's what wins playoff games.
Well, we keep hearing about this thing about there are other teams in the league who've had good squads, but not necessarily good teams. And the Fife Flyers, well, they have a good squad, and they've also had a good team this season. We've got them the league championship, of course. It actually what became quite a tight season. Several teams had a chance at one stage. And now in the playoff championship, of course, they're going for this straight 3-0 lead, which, of course, gives them the playoff championship if they win tonight. Now then, it's picked up by Drew Burgess in the neutral zone. He's got Daniels in support, but isn't able to do anything with it at the moment, but does clear it up, but doesn't get it away to anyone of the same coloured shirt. Stopped again. Offside. They're calling very, very tight on the offside, the linesman tonight. It's giving a bit of a stop-start feel to the game. 31 seconds left in the second period, and Fred, you just feel that it's going to be tight for the rest of this game. I don't know what's going to happen in the third period. Maybe it's going to open up a little bit. What can the Bison do?
As I said, Basingstoke just got to keep doing the little things right. They're still in the hockey game. They're still showing a lot of patience out here. Just 1 goal past Murphy, and it could change. That whole bench could lift up. And I think if you asked Charlie Cologne 1-0 lead for Fife after 2 periods, would you be happy with that? I think he would be.
Is this the patience that Charlie Cologne was waiting for? Did he mean patience to wait for the third period to maybe launch some wonderful offensives on the home side's net? Is that the patience that Charlie Cologne was talking of? With just a few seconds left in the second period, we're not too far away from finding out if that third period means something a little bit different for the Bison. They've got some good, they've had some good, skillful performances, of course, but also there's nothing come of it so far as Stephen Murphy keeps a clean sheet as we get to the end of the second period. And really, it's such a tight game, this wonderful final, the third game, of course, in the best of 5. And Fred Polini, so tight. Is the patience that Charlie Cologne was asking his players for Has it been there? And does that mean that something different's going to happen in the third period?
I think so. Now it's like, they can't hold back in this third period. They've really got to force the issue. They've got to score a goal. But I think Charlie has got his team playing the way he wants to. They're taking the man to the net. They're doing all the little things right. They're not letting Fife blow this game wide open, play that free-flowing hockey. So I think Charlie's happy. Again, just one lucky goal for Basingstoke, and the tide can turn here for them.
Well, Basingstoke have to win tonight. In fact, they have to win tonight. And the next game, and the next game, if they're going to win the playoff championship final. If Fife win tonight, they do the double. They get the league and the playoff championship on top. That is what is at stake in the third period of this game at the moment. It's Fife Flyers 1, Basingstoke Bison 0. We'll be back with the third period in a moment.
That's it. I've had enough.
No annual fee, a cashback bonus award, and more.
Seems to have done the trick.
The Morgan Stanley Dean Witter card. Has your credit card just expired?
For less than £5 a month, NTL can bring you a phone that charges national calls at our local rates. 8 extra TV channels via the wonders of cable, and internet access for just £0.01 a minute. Whereas BT charges you twice that for just a phone service. So for a package that's got the lot, call NTL now on 0800 183 1234. NTL, technology tamed.
Welcome back for the third period action then of this British National League Playoff Championship game, and it is, of course, the Fife Flyers against the Basingstoke Bison. It's brought to you with NTL and Morgan Stanley. Dean Witter, Fred Polini. It's 1-0 to the Fife Flyers at the moment. The Basingstoke Bison haven't given up at all yet, have they?
Well, Basingstoke doing all the little things right, as we said earlier. They've outshot Fife again, 14-6. Total shots 32-20. So they just got to put that one past Murphy, and I think it'll be a different hockey game for them in this third period.
Now, I've been talking a lot in the second period about the patience that Charlie Cologne had been asking from his players. They have been pretty patient, and in fact, for quite a bit of that second period, you felt that Basingstoke almost were in control, not so much from taking the flow of hockey, but actually taking the chance for Fife to flow away from them.
That's right, and that's the defensive side of it. They're playing good defensive hockey, taking away the passing lanes from Fife, doing the right things in their own end. As I said, it's just a matter of maybe that lucky bounce, putting that puck past Murphy, and it all can change for them. And Peter, this is where playoff hockey really shows its depth. And, it comes down to 3 or 4 defensemen for Basingstoke and 3 or 4 defensemen, or actually 3 defensemen for Fife. So we'll see who's in better shape in this third period, and we'll see who has the most depth between these two teams.
We're in our commentary position just above the ice rink here, and people peering in every so often, which is why perhaps you see us looking away, but it's a big atmosphere at the Fife Ice Arena. It's always a big atmosphere, particularly tonight, of course, this night of the Millennium season, where you could see the Fife Flyers adding the playoff championship title to the league title that they won just a few weeks ago. And here we go for the third period of this game. Puck is down on the ice. And here's Ted Russell for the Fife Flyers. And now up it goes, and Todd Duchem trying to get on the end of that. And in the end, it comes back through into the neutral zone, and then Carpenter goes a shot on goal. It goes wide, and Mike Ellis tries to chase back behind the back, and in the end, it comes back for a face-off.
All right, here's the lineup. Alice, Carpenter, and Redman. And they're going to try and score that one important goal here. You see right here, Carpenter again just firing on net. Goes off a Russell stick and over the net. And comes back to the net on its mesh. And there's a whistle outside here in the neutral zone.
Dwayne Newman. Over to Mike Ellis, captain of the Basingstoke Bison, and out it goes from the rink with the attention of Moody on Mike Ellis.
I think with Basingstoke, Guys like Ellis and that really got to force the issue, got to pick up their offense, but more importantly, the defensemen got to jump in the play. They really need to add some offense here, and as I said, this all-important goal that they need to score will change their whole outlook in this third period, and hopefully they can do it, Peter, to make a good hockey game out of it.
Dwayne Newman for the Basingstoke Bison, putting it around the back of the Flyers' net. Comes back to Ellis, he puts it in, but Murphy just tips that one away. Newman will chase that, take it round the back himself, but charged away by Todd Dutien. Here's Ellis again, he's got Patterson and Redman back with him. Comes over to Patterson, in fact, who pushes it forward, no one to particular, and in fact is picked up by Ted Russell for the Flyers, and they'll look to come forward. Still leading 1-0, of course, in this game. And I have to say that if it stays like this, we are now less than 1 period away from the Fife Flyers winning this playoff championship. Will they do it? Will the Basingstoke Bison spoil the party here at the Fife Ice Arena? Only these two teams can tell, and they're getting rougher as the minutes tick by.
Yeah, Basingstoke really finishing their checks like they have done all hockey game, and Rick Strachan or Charlie Clone doesn't want them to change their style there. Even though they've been in the penalty box a little bit more, they still finishing their checks out here, again, doing the right things.
Basingstoke Bison have outshot the Fife Flyers once again tonight, as they did in the second game. Smith trying to get through the neutral zone with the attention to Brian Mason, doesn't make it. And now it'll be chased after by Derek King, who is on the ice. And Fred Pelini in the second period was mentioning that Derek King hadn't been seen an awful lot, but he is out there now. Here's Frank Morris, though, taking it once again with one of his flowing runs through the neutral zone from left to right. Frank Morris has weaved his way. His a shot on from Smith, but it doesn't go in, and now picked up by Daniels for the Basingstoke Bison, who's looked one of the brighter players for the Bison tonight. Reg Crawford trying to get in on it, doesn't have a chance on that one, and Rick Strachan plays it in. Murphy has to tip that one away, and it comes back out for a face-off.
Well, this is playoff hockey at its best. This is what it all comes down to. Third game here, and you can Fife wrap this all up and make a sweep of the series. You see Frankie Morris again on one of his rushes, stops, throws the puck across, and a nice little touch pass to Smith, who makes a one-timer to the net. And that's why that team is so successful. They always get that puck to the net, and they're always supporting one another. Charlie Clone trying to get his bench play up here and play with a lot of intensity. And the veterans leading the way out here. Guys like Reggie Crawford really leading the way out here for the Basingstoke Bisons.
So Patterson picking it up to Baird. Comes back into the neutral zone, and here's Moody for the Fife Flyers, who puts it forward, and that'll be picked up by Gary Wishart, who tries to play it through. In the end, it comes back, and Emerson puts it back in, and Ted Russell will now take it back behind his net, looks at his options. Third line out here for the Flyers at the moment, third line out for the Basingstoke Bison as well. Addison in the thick of the action, still with the puck, and still putting it through, and a nice play by Patterson, consistently energetic, consistently committed in this game. Wishart puts it forward, Watkins just stops that one with his stick. Has to put it away, though, with the close attentions of a Flyer on him, and it comes back down the Basingstoke end. Neither side really getting hold of this game so far in the third period.
No, and you see guys like number 27, Dean Edmonston, having words with the referee. Now, Peter, I played with this guy back in 1988. Now, he's a little fireball, and, talk about discipline out there. He's not retaliating. Knights is all over him, taking the extra push, the extra shove on him. And Dino really showing his discipline. And that's what I think Mark Morrison has brought into this hockey team. He's showing a lot of discipline for these guys. And guys like Dino aren't flying off the handle and taking stupid penalties. And in essence, the hockey team is benefiting from it.
A little bit of a chat going on with the officials at the moment, and also Mike Ellis, the captain of the Bison, and Joey Watkins. Not entirely sure what the problem is. I think there is perhaps somewhere where just on the, I see, that looks like the line of the crease seems to have come out there, Fred.
Yeah, they're just sort of maybe a little chip in the ice right there, Peter. There's a lot of traffic in that area, so they'll just patch that up, and maybe it's coming down to the cement there or something. I don't think they're so worried about the actual red line, but if there's a chip in that area, then Murphy could lose Watkins could lose his footing in that area, and that could trip him up. So they'll patch that up, and usually how they do that, you just bring a little pail out here and sort of slush, we call it, patch the hole up, freeze over in time, and get back into the action.
Well, this hockey game about to get underway after what's been quite a long delay for repairs to the ice, and it has also meant that there's been quite a big change now in this third period. The fact is, the teams have actually swapped ends because of the damage to the ice surface here at the Fife Ice Arena. The Flyers have said that they will change ends and have their netminder at the end where the damaged ice is. Fred, have you ever seen anything like this before?
No, I've seen it all tonight, but I think it's a big mental ploy towards Fife here, and I think Basingstoke will have an advantage because of it.
Well, we have 17 minutes of this hockey game to go. The Fife Flyers are 1-0 up, and they have had to change ends. They have damaged ice in their goal mouth at the moment, and that's what young Stephen Murphy is going to have to contend with. But we're back into the action now, and that delay was quite a long time. Fred Pliny, do you think that's going to have affected either side?
Yeah, I really think that, if anything, I think it'll help Basingstoke and slow Fife right down. The delay is going to affect Fife more than Basingstoke.
Here's Dwayne Newman just putting it up, and it's picked up by the Fife Flyers. Almost a chance there, goes begging once again as Stephen King came in on net for the Flyers. There was a chance for the Flyers to go further ahead, but it's still 1-0 with 16:25 to go.
And as I said, Peter, my reasons for this delay and what I believe in is simply because Fife want to get this game over with. They want to pour the pressure, play the open flow type of game. Basingstoke come here, want a typical road win. Nothing fancy, just slow everything down, and I think this will help them in the third period.
Here we go then for a face-off. Daniels and Morrison to battle this one out. Down it goes, comes back the Fife's way. Here's Morris, clicks a shot in and it goes wide of Joe Watkins' goal. And it's back out for another face-off once again. Yes, very unsettling really for both teams, but as you're saying, Fred, perhaps it's the home team that is going to find it difficult. Let's have a look at this shot on goal.
Yeah, you see right here, face-off comes back to Frankie Morris, who just lets one rip, just goes over Watkins' shoulder. And that's like a set play there, Peter. The face-off will come outside, but Fife's still trying to apply the pressure here.
Because of that delay, it's going to be quite a late night here in Kirkcaldy. Here's Smith trying to weave his way through the Basingstoke defence, but Bison seem to have their act together defensively. And it goes out of the rink. There's going to have to be another face-off once again to get the game moving. And as I was saying, Fred, quite a late night expected now as a result of that delay in the game. And also difficult for both sides to cool down again and have to warm themselves up and get themselves going.
Well, that's it. If anything, the supporters won't let Fife die down here, but the emotions, the adrenaline of the game is all cooled down now. It's like they're starting the hockey game over again.
Well, we've got Rick Strachan now up to Reg Crawford, but Smith attends on him, and it comes back to Derek King, who plays it up. Brian Mason going to chase after that. Still those little niggling incidents going on. Here's Reg Crawford now, number 28 for the Basingstoke Bison. Bears down on goal. Stephen Murphy up to it and makes a crucial save.
An opportunity by Crawford, just goes to the 5-hole, and again Murphy's there to close the door.
Well, Crawford had some time to think. Sometimes you wonder when they have big space like that, do players start to think too much about what they've got to do? And in the end, the netminder was very, very good up to that particular shot. Here's Russell Monteith for the Fife Flyers. Was that a crucial moment in this game? We'll have to find out fairly soon. As I was saying, lots of little niggles still going on off ice. Here's Reg Crawford once again. It's a 1-on-2. He takes a shot, Murphy down on it and puts it down and gets it safe.
Yeah, Crawford just crashes to the net there, and you see him. He knows that somebody's got to get in Murphy's face, and after a shot, he jumps on his own rebound, even though there wasn't one there, and he's just trying to cause some chaos there, throw these guys off their game, and you see Burgess in there with Haig, and Reggie, jumped into that neutral zone, jumped over the blue line, Peter, as you say, maybe, you see right here, nice little pass here. He gets it through the neutral zone, just jumping the way he can. Great skating here. Morris can't catch him. Reggie just cuts him off right here and just tries to go through that 5-hole. But Murphy's right there to cover up. And, there's a guy, a veteran of 20 years pro hockey, against a guy that's playing in his first year of pro hockey. So that tells you something about that goaltending.
Well, we've been having a little chat around the ice arena tonight to find out what people think that Stephen Murphy's going to do. He's young enough, of course, and some people still talking about him going to Canada, others saying no, he's going to be firmly staying in Fife. Here the Basingstoke Bison, they're not letting up yet. They're all over the Fife Flyers goal, and the Flyers just looking to get it away, which they do, but only as far as Duncan Patterson. It's getting really niggly out on the ice now here in Kirkcaldy. It's going to be big tension for the final 14 minutes or so of this game. Now here come the Flyers once again We've got Todd Dutiem and Russell Monteith on the puck at the moment. It comes across, and here's Ted Russell, tries to put it in. Watkins saves it, and no rebound for a Fife Flyers player. And here comes Mike Ellis just taking it away for the Bison, but it comes back up into their zone. Dwayne Newman will take that behind the net. And now there's Tony Redman taking it on, and here is Deb Carpenter, but he doesn't control it enough, although Mike Ellis picks it up. Captain Mike Ellis for the Bison takes it in. Saved in by Stephen Murphy, and there was an offside there anyway. As I was saying, there's so much action at the moment, it's difficult to catch up with what we're saying all the time, but it is niggly, it is very tense out on the ice, and there's Stephen Murphy just taking a drink, just keeping himself concentrated in the Fife Flyers goal. 1-0, the Flyers lead at the moment, 14:24 to go.
Peter, it hasn't taken long for the intensity in this building to pick back up after the delay. Everybody clapping here and cheering their Fife Flyers on, and the tempo's picked up right where it left off.
Yeah, some big atmosphere here at the Fife Ice Arena. Always is, of course, but particularly tonight, so much at stake. Here's Reg Crawford passing it through to Brian Mason, who tries to slap shot. Reg Crawford again follows up, tries it again, and Murphy saves it again.
Well, there you see Reggie Crawford winding up in the slot again. That man Murphy is there. It's been the difference. He's been the difference. We talk about him all the time, Peter, but he's the difference.
Here's Drew Burgess. Let's see what he can do. He falls over, I'm afraid. And in the end, Reg Crawford looking to try and get back. Crawford is on a roll at the moment. He's woken up. Something has happened with Reg in the last few minutes, and he is really flying, and I have a feeling he could do something for the Bison now. You just feel he's in for it.
As I said, you know, he's been in these situations before, first two periods, playing good defensive hockey, taking some shifts in the back, but number 28 has really stepped it up in this shift. He's had 2 or 3 good opportunities. He knows that he's got to score. He's shaking his head there. He's going, man, what do I got to do to beat this Murphy? And, you know, the one thing I like about Reggie, though, you know, if it's not going in, you know, he gets in there, jumps in that crease in front of Murphy, trying to stir it up. They're going to try and throw Murphy off his game.
Put the face-off deep in the Flyers zone. What are they going to make of it? They're going to get it away. That's what they're going to do. And here's speedy Todd Dutiem, not being able to get round Newman, though. And it's picked up and put back to Duncan Patterson. Picks it. Mitchell's up. Here comes... Oh, it was Stephen King's chance to try and get on that, but he didn't in the end. Patterson once again now with the puck, takes it back, and it's over to Baird, who's looking around to see what he can do. Twist it round, but it's not going in. Myers had a chance to give a bit of a more harder shot than that, but didn't in the end deliver, and it's going to come back for a face-off as the referee sorts it out, and the puck is picked up, or actually Patterson's glove is picked up from outside the ring.
Well, Patterson jumps into that play with the all-British line, the third line, and they try to force the issue on Murphy, but a weak shot, again, he makes a good save. Patterson will get a line change, and Peter, everything to play here for Basingstoke, you know.
How tight is this? 13-16 to go, Fred, and it's 1-0 to Fife Flyers in their own barn, and both sides just as tense as each other. You almost feel there's no home advantage anymore. Could go either way for this game at the moment. Basingstoke still bearing down on the net, and it's in!
There's the big goal!
Equalizer for the Bison!
There's the big goal right there. And the man that scores it is usually the playmaker, number 12, Jeff Daniels, who's no stranger to Scottish hockey, played in Edinburgh last year. You see him coming around here, around the net, holds on to it, patience with the puck, flips it right over the shoulder of Murphy as Murphy goes down. Great goal. Big goal at a big time here. 13 minutes left in this hockey game, 1-1. It's a new hockey game now, Peter.
There was a goal scored on Stephen Murphy in the top shelf. We talked about that earlier in the game, that on games gone by, coaches have told their men to try in the top shelf but not succeeded. It did that time for Ellis. Now, are Fife going to get back? What are the crowd going to do? Are they going to get behind the team? Are they going to be disappointed? You never know with the Fife crowd. They're very, very, very big hockey fans. They want to see their team win. But at the moment, it's the Basingstoke Bison on the extended. Baron Mason taking it through. Daniel's going through in. And it looks to me like there's been another offside call, and that will come back and the game slows down.
Kind of get the impression Fife sitting back a bit, and you notice there Brian Mason, you know, jumping in that play with 44 and 11, so they got 3 or 4 attackers coming into the play now. So Fife, will see, as we've done all year, if they pick up the tempo back in their game in the offense, and usually they do.
Well, 12:38 to go. It's 5-on-5, no penalties at the moment. Here's Patterson coming through for the Bison. Can they do what many, many, many sides just have not got even close to and get a victory in Fife's own barn? Here's Mark Morrison, Fife's man, and over he goes, and the referee judges that there's a penalty to the Basingstoke Bison. That looks to me like Drew Burgess is going to be coming off. And that's going to make it 5-on-4 for the Flyers, a chance to get back in the lead, Fred Paulini.
Number 11, Drew Burgess, goes to the penalty box. And you'll see right here, just puts his arm around, throws Mark Morrison down. And, you know, in this open ice area, big rink, you know, you might get away with that along the boards. But in this big open ice area, Horner has to make that call. And, you know, Basingstoke still complaining to Horner here. But he sticks by his decision. And again, Peter, bad time in the hockey game to take that type of penalty.
Well, we've had several power plays tonight. I have to say, I haven't always felt that the power plays have had much effect. It's been that sort of game where really, you know, there's been chances going when you're short-handed as well. Let's see what Fife can do in this majority situation. Close attention from the Bison players. You'll see that now. Of course, it's anyone's game at 1-1. There's Dwayne Newman just whacking it forward, having a bit of a speculative shot, actually. Frank Morris will pick that one up, take it around the back of his own net. Tony Redman's down there for the Bison, but circles away. And now it's here's Mark Morrison, on who the penalty was performed. And Morrison and Redman having a go at each other in mid-ice. Nothing come of it. Referee not looking like he's doing anything. It's going to come back for a face-on, I think. I don't think any penalty called there.
Well, Mark Morrison, being the ultimate professional he is, not retaliating. Tosh Redman just all over him. I don't know what's happening off the play there, but the both of them always have to work. You see right here, Tosh Redman just holding him up. Mark Morrison fighting through the check, and Redman just all over his man out there. And that's the last thing you want to do, is get another penalty here. Monteith line is still out here, and remember, Peter, he scored the first power play goal of the game, that Monteith.
You feel the game's at a stage where anything could happen, something could go out of control. It's where a referee earns his money tonight to see whether or not Horner can keep control of this game. He's doing okay at the moment. It's 1-1. Frank Morrison puts it back in. That's going to be picked up by Russell Monteith. Here's Morris. Let's see what Morris can do. Tries to shot in, doesn't get anywhere with it. Here come the Basingstoke Bison. Dead Carpenter speeding down the ice. Rich Crawford behind him. He's also got Brian Mason up with him as well. And it's taken away by the Fife Flyers. And up it comes again into the neutral zone. Todd Dutiam, is he going to weave his way around? Is he going to weave his magic? Who's he looking for? He was trying to look at the time for Russell Monteith, didn't pick him up. Here's Frank Morris, though, with the puck still for the Fife Flyers, looking for options. At the moment, he's just taking it on himself. Is he going to have a go? No, he passes it over to Ted Russell, who does have a go. Tries to tip it in. Dutiam puts it in the back of the net. What a wonderful goal! Todd Dutiam, number 11, for the Fife Flyers, makes it 2-1, and the home side back in front again.
Oh, what a class shot by Todd Dutiam. Puck goes across. You see Russell here, a pass right across 3 zones, and Dutiam just snaps that in the top shelf. He makes no mistake. First-class goal by a first-class player.
That really was a class bit of play by Todd Dutiam. He's been threatening all night. The speed that the man has been shown at various times, and there you saw that deadly accuracy of his shot. Watkins actually thought he had it covered, I think. His left glove going across the goal, but Dutiam just found that little space above it into the top shelf. 2 top shelf goals in the last few minutes of this game. Fife Flyers back on top.
And Peter, one of the keys about scoring that goal is that quick release. He didn't give Basingstoke time to check him. Good quick release there.
Well, that power play did count for the Flyers. Back, of course, to 5-on-5 now in this game. The Bison's Drew Burgess being released from the box as soon as that goal went in. But the home side back in charge. Now then, what's this going to do? Here's Mark Morrison, has a go. Watkins up to it here. Patterson tries to get it away and does so and brings it up through into the neutral zone, but it bounces off the back of a Fife player. And now Tony Redman picks it up, and the Fife crowd, as you could probably hear, have come alive in Kirkcaldy. They are just 10 minutes away from taking the playoff championship title now if the score stays like this. Here's the Bison again. Dead Carpenter, 23, plays it on. Murphy saves once again. There's another go at the rebound, but doesn't take it. It's frantic stuff out on the ice now at the Fife Ice Arena.
What a showcase for ice hockey here. And here's what it's all about. Good hand-to-hand action. Some good checking out there. Some nice goal scoring now. And you see Watkins, he's bitter about that one. He went down a little bit early. You see Deb Carpenter take a shot here and try to jump on his own rebound, and he does. And that's what you need to do. But Murphy's right there. Carpenter flies over the boards there, and it's hockey at its best, Peter, here up in Kirkcaldy.
Young Murphy, only 1 goal past him tonight. Has had plenty of shots, and he saved so many of them. Didn't save that one, of course, earlier. But at the moment, it's 2-1 to the Fife Flyers. And it's thumping stuff at Kirkcaldy The crowd really getting behind their team now. There's only a few Basingstoke supporters. It's difficult for them to be heard at this particular moment of the game. Todd Dutium, the goal scorer, just now going down on the ice. And now the crowd really have become alive. And let's see what happens on the ice. Let's see which team is going to reign supreme. Deb Carpenter just coming back into his own zone, takes it back round the net. Dutium is in attendance. And in the end, it comes back forward, and Murphy will just stop that one and to palm it off to Frank Morris, who picks it up and tries to build again.
See Morris here with one of his end-to-end rushes here. You give this guy space and he'll hurt you. Basingstoke really got to, they're opening it up now, and this is the type of style that Fife plays, as we know.
You feel that the patience perhaps has now gone from the Bison. They thought they'd done such a lot of work to draw up to level terms, but now they've gone one down again in a 2-1 hockey game on them. And you feel that maybe the frustration's coming out. So they're going to control themselves. The hits are coming in. The crowd getting excited. And the Bison bring it back with Rick Strachan, that man in control at the back for the Bison, onto Mike Ellis, the captain. And he wheels it round. Are they able to get an equaliser back? It's no connection there. But still some hits off the ice. Here comes Moody, the defenseman in attack at the moment. Tries to wheel it around, but now it's picked up again. It's end-to-end stuff in this game. Brian Mason plays a wonderful pass to Crawford. Crawford with a chance, Murphy saves, and it was offside anyway.
It was offside, but I disagree with that call. Oh man, it really took Reggie off his stride there. But again, he's trying to go 5-hole there, and Murphy's got him figured out. But I kind of disagree with that call. If we have another look at that one, Peter, I'll tell you, that pass came right through that mid zone right there. Reggie maybe his skates were over that blue line before he got the puck. So the camera doesn't lie. Just by a foot there, I think he was offside.
Well, I actually say, Fred, it was still pretty close. I have to say, I think that was either a very, very good call or it was only just off. Anyway, here's Duncan Patterson for the Bison. Bison really have to go at it now. They have to pull out all the stops. Here is that man that maybe could do it. Reg Crawford onwards. Drew Burgess chases after it, but it's cleared up by the Fife Flyers. Mark Morrison takes him forward. And John Hay chases after. Watkins comes out of goal to clear. Smith in with a chance, but misses it. And now here comes Tony Redman for the Basingstoke Bison. Through the neutral zone, he weaves his way. Almost feints a shot now, takes a shot. Murphy is clear to that, no trouble at all. And the puck winds its way back down to Joe Watkins.
So Newman will come back here, and you'll see the line changes real quick now, Peter. And it seems right now in the hockey game, both teams just going with 2 lines and 3 or 4 defensemen. So the tempo is staying at a high intensity out here.
Mike Ellis, the captain of the Basingstoke Bison, powering down the left and gets round the back of Moody, gets round the back. Oh, there's no one in the front there. Carpenter has a go, but goes wide. It's open stuff. This is a wonderful hockey game. 7:29 still to go in this hockey game, and the Fife Flyers still 2-1 up. Is the silverware once again coming back? Not the Bison have anything to do with it, and right now it's Mark Morrison, powers it up. They've got some men in space. 2 PM once again, the scorer just now. He plays it back. And Smith almost with a chance, but just goes wide. And Daniels looks to clear and does so. And to Mike Ellis, the Bison, he tries to power his way through, still had a stick on it, but it was just taken away. You almost can't breathe at the moment. The action is so fast.
That's one thing about Fife.
Now, I think he got a chance of coming in. No, he hasn't. It was offside.
But just listening to your commentating, you're talking about Basingstoke on one end, but Fife just jump back in the play and catch you on that trap system with a 2 or 3 on 1 the other way. So it's end-to-end action. It's just, as I said, it's a great advert for ice hockey tonight.
6:53 still to go in this game at the moment. Let's have a look at that action again as Mike Ellis just powers his way through.
Yeah, Ellis trying to break through the defense there, but Moody gets a hold on him. And that's where Ellis is good, that acceleration over that blue line, jumping in the play. The captain really trying to take it in his own hands there, but Moody broke up that play smartly.
Fife Flyers, of course, are the defending champions of the playoff title. This would be a unique double for them. It's been a while since they've had something like this, back in the 70s. In fact, I was reading the program notes. And here are the Flyers once again just twisting and turning. The third line out at the moment, although Monteith is out with them as well. He's going to try and get that puck in. He doesn't. It's getting rough stuff. Patterson clears it. And it'll go back down the 5. That's what I was saying. So the defending champions, Fred, the Fife Flyers, they've got the league title already. They're looking to defend this playoff championship. This has been such a big season for them in the millennium.
That's it. They're trying to get their 4th trophy here. Trying to, as I said earlier, one hand on one side of the trophy. 6 minutes left. They can put 2 hands on the trophy. but Basingstoke are still in the way. They're still in this hockey game, and this is what playoff hockey is all about. And these people up here in Fife are getting a treat here. Get their money's worth tonight.
Crawford and Monteith with a face-off. Comes back to Frank Morris, just nudges it in. Monteith will chase after that one. Linesman's got to get out of the way. I tell you, no one's hanging around for them anymore. Here comes the Basingstoke Bison with Drew Burgess. What can he do with it? He's got some skill, he's got some pace, but he's got the attendance of Derek King, who sees him off, and it's back to Monteith. And here come the Fife Flyers again through the neutral zone. They've got some support, and up comes Todd Ducey. What's he going to do with it? And it's almost in, but not quite. Watkins blocks it out. It does enough to get round the back of the net. Watkins just sidles off to give himself some space, to give himself some time, and up comes Russell Monteith, still on his knees.
Well, here we see right here, Peter, puck comes over the blue line, number 11, Todd Dudeman doesn't shoot, elects to pass, and Monteith, Watkins makes a great save on Monteith coming across to cover that post, but that combination of Monteith, Dudeman really showing their class tonight.
Would have been a beautiful goal, and I think you would have said that it would have finished it off for tonight had that gone in, but it didn't, so it's still only 2-1 to the Fife Flyers as the Basingstoke Bison give themselves just under 6 minutes time left. 5:55 to go, in fact. And here's Mason for the Flyers. It's calmed down though by the Flyers as Smith tries to go in round the back, but Ellison close attendance with Brian Mason as well, trying to get that puck away from the boards. It comes back the Fife's way, even though they had two by Basingstoke men, but now Mason puts it down and it's back, and we all take a little bit of a breath as Ted Russell back in his own zone plays it forward to Moody, who plays it forward to Morrison, who gets round the back, and still they battle for it, the Basingstoke Bison, and still they come forward with Mike Ellis with all sorts of chances going there. Rich Bracken tries one, but Murphy is good to it once again.
You see the puck comes all the way down here, Peter, and Basingstoke just holding on right now. You get the feeling here, Smith with an open chance, just moves it over to Hennigan. You get the feeling that, you know, Fife just opened up the tempo and just opened up this game, and they're really flowing now.
Good save from Joe Watkins there, actually, with a little opportunist chance, but the Flyers just goes astray. But Watkins has done some jobs for the Basingstoke Bison. He's not quite as good at holding on. Here's back down the other end there, with Murphy just serving the save.
Now you see Strachan making a nice shot there, but a good save again by Watkins. And you know, you hate to say this, but bring the brooms up. This could be a sweep. You know, 3-0 here, Peter. I mean, 3 games straight. Basingstoke don't want to go down like that. And hopefully it's not like last week with a 2-1 win for Fife. So Basingstoke really need to dig deep here.
Here we are with the Bison trying to clear their lines, but it comes back Fife's way. It just never seems to be able to quite get down as far as the Bison would like to be able to formulate an attack at this stage, with the Flyers 2-1 up, 4:39 still to go in this game. Now then, here comes that man again. He's battling away. He will not leave it alone, Tony Redman. And now he's got some support. Here's Dwayne Newman. He's going to try a little shot, a little chance, but it doesn't. It gets deflected. And now Drew Burgess, number 11, back to Wayne Crawford, round of his bikes. Here's number 20, which is Tony Redmond. What's he going to do with that? He's got plenty of choices. He had quite a few players ready and lined up to take a shot there, but didn't go for it in the end. And it comes off back for a face-off.
Well, Basingstoke's doing some good cycling down low. They really protect the puck well, but a bad bounce comes off one of the players and goes over the boards, and another delay of game face-off there. And it slows everything down. Horner doing a good job tonight, although I think Basingstoke will say that some of the calls went Fife's way. But this man here has a lot of experience from Super League games, and he knows best. That man there, 31. What else can we say about him, Peter? That he's just been awesome again tonight.
Yep, young Stephen Murphy doing so well for his team in Fife. And here we go again, back with the action. Here's Brian Mason, puts it across. Rich Strachan's going to try and get that one back. No, it doesn't. Frank Morris instead picks it up for the Fife Flyers. And here's Mark Morrison, always battling away. Daniels will pick that one up. He'll just play it back to Strachan. Strachan looks around, see what he's got, plays it up, and it goes up to Deb Carpenter. 3:47 left in this third period. Here's Mike Ellis. He's been battling away down the left and doing well for the Bison once again. They've all played well, really, these players tonight. They've worked so hard. There's been no slouching at all on either side. And look at this from John Haig, kicked around the back. Watkins up to it, waddles his way into that puck. And Rich Strachan battles to try and get it away. And here's Daniels up to Deb Carpenter. Deb Carpenter taking it through into the Fife zone. No one there for him, I'm afraid. Apart from Rick Strachan back in the neutral, and he picks it, takes it down the left himself. Lots of little niggly incidents going in, and a chance goes begging for Mike Ellis once again with a nice little tip in from Rick Strachan, and Murphy parried away, but it didn't come back in the end.
Good opportunity there. Strachan just moving the puck towards the net, and Ellis jumping in the hole, and Murphy have to make another good save there. The fight comes right back at you.
It's the final 3 minutes of this game, and now you feel these players are sensing it's the end of the season closing in, so it's no hold barred. Anything can happen in these next few minutes, but it's 2-1 at the moment to the Fife Flyers. Are we just minutes away from the Flyers defending their playoff championship, or are we just away from a spoil for the Basingstoke Bison? At the moment, it's Duncan Patterson for the Bison, taking it forward. Let's see how far he's going to take it. He tries to lay it off, but doesn't get very far, with close attendance from Russell Monteith, who's also Tony Redman's battling away. They really are battling now. There's no messing about. These players know that the season could be at an end very shortly, and they're just going to battle away until they get that puck.
Well, just 2 minutes left to play in this hockey game, Peter, and don't be surprised if you see Watkins come out of his net once Basingstoke have possession in the Fife end.
Well, there's only a matter of a number of attacks left. There's Carpenter, his Burgess, but Russell will try and flick that one away, and does. Here's Patterson, though. Of course, only an equalising shot. We could see overtime in this game. Murphy battles it away. Frank Morris hits it away into the neutral zone. Ryan Mason going across ice, looking to see what he can do. Tries to bounce it off, but it only goes to Ted Russell, who flips it back. And Monteith now has it. He'll play it across ice. And a nice pass once again from Monteith. He's played well tonight. He's got Smith in there. Sorry, King in there, but it doesn't go King's way in the end. And it comes back to Basingstoke. And now, here we go with Daniels. Daniels flicks it around, tries to do something with it. Murphy flips it away, and Ted Russell will look to clear.
Yeah, Daniels makes a nice pass, gets a nice pass through that neutral zone, and he finds himself one-on-one with Russell, and he just does some nifty stick handling there. And again, Russell trying to play the man, does a good job, but Daniels doesn't get a good shot of it. But you see right here, just gets over the line, fakes, does a shoulder fake, goes to his forehand, back to his backhand, but Russell just throws him off pace. And Watkins, Murphy is there to deflect the puck away. Russell doing a good job, carrying a lot of ice time out here. 1:15 remaining in the hockey game. We're going to have a timeout by the Basingstoke Bison, and I'm sure you're going to see 6-on-5 action right now.
Here's the situation. So as Fred said, 1:15 left in this hockey game. 2-1 to the Fife Flyers. The Flyers are already the British National League champions for this Millennium season. They also have the Christmas Cup, of course, for this season as well. They are looking to defend the playoff championship, and they are just 1 minute 15 seconds away from actually defending that title. It's been a purple patch for the Fife Flyers in the last couple of seasons here in the British National League, and very, very close to making it a season to remember.
Yeah, just 3 major trophies, and the fourth one being the Scottish Cup, which has nothing to do with the league, but 3 major trophies in this BNL season. Obviously you couldn't write a better script, and but you got to give Basingstoke credit. They've come here, they've worked hard. This game is not over yet, Peter.
Well, I was in the Fife crowd at Hull last year when they won the playoff championship. Joey Watkins saving a penalty to bring it home to Kirkcaldy, and I have to say, if the atmosphere was big then, you quadruple it for this crowd in the Kirkcaldy Fife Ice Arena. And if Fife win tonight, I have to tell you, the atmosphere, the crescendo that you will hear when that buzzer goes is just going to be so big. But it's not over yet. We've just got over a minute left of this game. The Bison looking to try and tie it up, but it's brought back now for a face-off, and the atmosphere in this ice arena is just getting hotter and hotter and hotter.
Well, you see Patterson right here having words with King. King wearing the mask, protecting a facial injury, and I think that's the last thing he wants to do is mix it up with 55 Patterson. But at this particular time, you see 55, this guy plays it hard, he plays in your face, good defensive hockey player, been jumping in the offensive side tonight, into the play, and Basingstoke, desperate to score a goal here. What do they need to do to beat Murphy with 1:07 left in this hockey game?
Well, the crowd sense it. They can feel it here in Scotland. They feel this title coming back. They feel this title staying in Kirkcaldy after that big victory at Hull last year. Now they feel it's going to stay with them. and they will go into the 2000-2001 season with such a pedigree behind them. No matter who stays or who goes for the Fife Flyers, the confidence from Kirkcaldy will be tangible as you start next season if, once again, this title comes back here. We're back in play. Here we go. What can Basingstoke do? Can they do anything? Drew Burgess powering after that one. Ted Russell in attendance brings down Burgess. No call for a penalty on that. And the netminder has been pulled. Joe Watkins is out of the net. So 6 out of... those all players are out of goal at the moment. Here comes Todd Dutian. Is he going to have a little shot at this one? Mark Morrison trying to connect with it. Strachan defending. But now Mark Morrison round the back, and also in attendance you've got Russell Monteith. Anyone has a shot at goal at Basingstoke at the moment, of course they can get it in. There's just half a minute left of the Millennium season if Fife keep it this way. But Basingstoke Bison now powering forward with Rick Strachan. He's got Reg Crawford with him. Strachan takes it in and into the safe glove of Stephen Murphy, that man that's had such an effect for the Fife Flyers all season.
There he is, the big man right there. Down low on the other end. You see 21 seconds left on that clock. 2-1 to the Fife Flyers. 6 men on 5. And, you know, these are where these set plays are all important. They've got to win this face-off. They've got to get this face-off back. And then they've got to get a quick shot on net. Looks like Carpenter's going to take the face-off. He'll get it back to number 4, Strachan. He'll get a good shot on net. And they'll have Crawford, Burgess, and Patterson go to the net.
Here we go then, yeah, back in action, the clock is ticking away, the Fife crowd behind their players, Fife desperately defending, Basingstoke trying to find a way through to get back that equaliser. It's going back in there, but it's back to Fife, they've got an open net, it's got a chance to put it 3-1, it misses the net, but is that done enough? I think it has, it has! I can tell you that in the Millennium season, the Fife Flyers have defended the playoff championship, they added to their league title, they added to the Christmas Cup, and they added to the Scottish Cup. What a season in Kirkcaldy!
Well, the people are going crazy here, Peter. The atmosphere is unbelievable. And the Fife Flyers, again, are the champions.
Well, if you know the British National League like we know the British National League, there could not be a better place to have an ice hockey party than in Kirkcaldy. I've just had a party streamer thrown into our commentary box. Such are the celebrations here in Scotland. All those Fife players around the net congratulating each other. It's gone crazy in the Fife Ice Arena. Fred Bellini.
Well, there you go. You look on the other side of the coin, Peter. You see, the Basingstoke players holding their heads down. They've got nothing to be ashamed of. They've put in some good work. Although they got swept in this series, they've had a great year under Charlie Clone and Rick Strachan. And what can you say? Fife have just been too good for everybody this year.
Well, now you look at the disconsolate faces of the Basingstoke Bison, but as Fred said, they put in a good performance. Yes, they've gone down 3-0 in the best of 5, but you know, it's not been like a handful of goals have gone in. These last 2 games, particularly, there's actually only been 6 goals. It's been 2-1 both times to the Fife Flyers, and there's Mark Morrison and Ted Russell.
And then those guys were key players tonight. Monteith, who's been a key player, scores the first power play goal. Duneman scores a first-class goal to put them up 2-1. But those guys have been producing game in, game out every night. And as I said, it's been a good effort by the whole team. But they sure outclassed everybody this year, and they really deserve to win this championship here.
Well, all through the week after that win in Basingstoke on Sunday, to put the Fife Flyers 2-0 up in the series, everyone's saying, well, Fife aren't going to lose it in their own barn. But you have to say that Bison brought it to them tonight. 2-1 the final score, that tells the story.
That's right, Bison, they could have lied down, they could have come up here, you know, it's an 8-10 hour bus ride, they could have lied down, but they didn't. They give it their all, and they made a great hockey game. These people were sitting on the edge of their seats tonight, right down to the last minute. They didn't know what was going to happen. So Basingstoke, as I said, have nothing to be ashamed of.
Well, young and old, enjoying the celebrations in the Fife Ice Arena. You can just feel the relief, the celebrations. You don't find any more passionate fans in the British National League than you do in Fife.
Well, that's right. They love a winner, and they're behind their team 100%. And, you know, Peter, when we talked about this setup of a playoff format before it all started. This is what it's all about. It's not at Wembley, but the home crowd gets to see their team win in their own building, and this is what it's all about.
Yes, of course, this is now the culmination of this new setup in the British National League playoffs with the best of 3 semis, best of 5 final. And just at this moment, while we're enjoying the celebrations here in Kirkcaldy, Fred, your reflection just quickly on that new setup. Has it worked?
I think it's been great for hockey here. Personally, it's a North American style. I'm used to it, but I think people have adjusted to it, and obviously the Kirkcaldy crowd likes it.
Well, I have to say as well, as far as we know, and as far as I was told in the last couple of weeks, that it's going to stay for the next season as well, and then there's going to be a judgment made to find out whether or not if we go back to this one weekend final thing, or whether or not we stay with these series.
And yourself, Peter, I mean, you're from the country here, you know hockey. Well, how do you like this format?
Well, I have to say, I mean, it's a little bit different for us because, of course, we followed the games around the country over the last few weeks. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. I certainly did. And, you know, when you have a celebration like this, you have to feel that it's big stuff. It happens to have worked out there. Stephen Murphy has just been awarded, I think, man of the match for tonight. No shot there.
Yeah, and that just says it all. That caps the night off. I mean, Jesus, what else can this kid do? I really think that, you know, Peter, there's only one way for this kid to go. Does he go back to North America? Does he stay here? I mean, 17 years old, won 4 major trophies for his hockey team. He's won three trophies on his own. He's been the most valuable player in the league. What else can he do?
Well, the award now being made. The photographers are already on the ice, and the Fife Flyers are actually just listening now to some awards. In fact, what they're doing here in the Fife Ice is just running through
The All-Star team.
the All-Star team.
Stephen Murphy has been named. And John Haig has been named to it.
And those 2 players coming forward to be congratulated on their achievements. We've already spoken so much about young Stephen Murphy. John Haig as well. Good for him to get in there.
Well, the thing is about John Haig, you know, you don't realize the pace he has. And that one particular play, under the last 5 minutes there, left Peter, he just turned it on over the blue line. And he's a great all-around hockey player. And he adds a lot for the young British boys to look up to. And he's played the game a long time at the senior level. And it's really shown in big games like this.
Just looking around the arena, Fred, you feel there's going to be a bit of a party in here in a few moments.
Yeah, and I think we're going to be a part of it, Peter. We can't run away from it because the doors look like they're going to be locked in this ice rink.
Stephen Murphy again collecting another award, another one of those several awards he picked up from the British National League this season for his performances.
I think what's happened here, Peter, is these guys have been named to the All-Star team, and the other boys were named to the All-British All-Star team. So Monteith and Murphy, again, just capping that off. It's just been a wonderful season, and you know, it's not about individuals, it's about a team effort, and that's when all these accolades come out for these individuals, when the team does well.
Congratulations in there for the Flyers. You just saw a picture of the Basingstoke players looking on. How difficult is this for them?
Well, I've been on that receiving end a few times, and it's tough. You know, you have to, you kind of look in the mirror and wonder, well, what do I got to do to win hockey games here? But they can't die.
Oh, and what a surprise. More congratulations for the Fife team.
That's right. I see Basingstoke down here, and they're having some words with the supporters. And you see right here, this is the sad part of it all, Peter. You know, I mean, you got some fans over there just really taking it out on Basingstoke. And Basingstokers just saying, have some class here. You know, we're out here accepting all this. You know, this is not like football. You know, one thing about ice hockey, it's a family game, and the players know that, and they want to treat everybody like that.
You do wonder actually while all this is going on whether or not you know the Basingstoke Bison should be allowed to leave the ice. Maybe I don't know.
I would think, you know, in general they should. Like, I mean, they are showing a lot of class by standing out there and watching these guys get all the awards and all the claps and all the cheers. You know, they should be able to go to the dressing room. I think, you know, they've done their bit.
So these awards just going on. Everyone's waiting, of course, for the presentation of the trophy. We've already had the presentation of the league trophy a few weeks ago here at Kirkcaldy. We're now waiting, I presume, for the playoff championship trophy. But first of all, it's Coach of the Year. And there is Mark Morrison in his cap.
Coach of the Year, Peter.
Coming forward to pick up that little trophy. With Tom Muir there. The Fife Supremo.
Mark has done a great job. He's been here 7 years. You know, he came over the first couple of years, just played as a player. He learned what the British game was all about. He adapted quickly, and he's been a great player coach.
So,
British Championship Cup
here is the
retained by Fife players.
here is the presentation of the trophy, which is retained by the Fife Flyers. What they've been playing for tonight, the playoff championship. There it is. And forward comes Frank Morris to be presented. This is the one that's going to be held aloft in just a moment around the ice arena here in Kirkcaldy. And you just listen to the crowd. Well, you can hear them at the moment. They're pretty pumped up as it is.
Yeah, there it is. 2 hands on the trophy, the champagne. And Captain Frank Morris is used to this position after a great season in Kirkcaldy. I know, tradition has it, they pass this cup around and they'll skate around the ice here. And, man, these guys, you can see the the Basingstoke players going around now, Peter. And people giving them applause, showing some class for these boys. They've done a great job. And no doubt about the nice thing again about ice hockey, these guys will all be in the bar later having a beer with the winning team.
There the Flyers having a chat. Mark Morrison saying well done to all his boys, and they're going to do a little lap of honour. I think they'll find the champagne is already open, some sweets being taken, a few other cans of things, and here comes the cup round the ice. Derek King just trading that one. I wonder whether or not everyone's going to get a feel of that.
I think that's the idea of it all. All the players are standing in the middle, and then each player's going to take a turn and skate around that ice with that cup. And all the supporters are going to get a long look at it because we're going to go through all 20 players and do this, plus management.
I did say it might be a long night. And there's Smithy going around with it.
Now, what has he done this year? I mean, great young British player. He's added great speed and skill to the game. And for all the young British players out there, this is one guy they can look up to.
Now it's passed on. John Hay, each player being announced as they take the cup round the ice. And I have to say, it is a wonderful scene as Fred Pleedy and I look out from the commentary position. You look out around the arena and everyone on their feet, everyone clapping. Everyone enjoying and savouring this moment of success and victory once again for such a successful team.
Now you see Stephen King out here. He's got the mask off. He played hurt tonight. And just kind of goosebumps on the back of your neck there, Peter. You see these guys skating around with that cup, and this is what it's all about. The supporters really feel a big part of it. And you kind of get the feeling that they're going to party up in Scotland for a while.
Scott Didion scored a lovely goal tonight, that top shelf goal, which made it 2-1. Wonderful score.
That's the thing about Todd Dugan. I mean, this guy's a first-class import. And to score a goal like that, he's shown a lot of patience. When that goalie went down, he put a top shot. But I mean, you couldn't shoot the puck any more accurate than he did. And that was like a great goal at a big time. And that's why they signed that big-time import.
Here's Mark Morrison, the man himself, the coach, the player coach, with his cap on now, going around the arena, just lifting that trophy that he was so delighted to win tonight. And in his program notes earlier, he was paying real tribute to everyone involved in the club and also the supporters and everyone that stepped up for him this season. He said that a few years ago he only wanted to come for one season, but he stuck around as the challenges and the successes have got better.
Now we see, have a look at Ted Russell. He was on the other side of it last year, playing with Peterborough, but this year he's lifted that trophy 4 different trophies this year. This guy plays with a lot of skill at the back. There's a lot of ice time, and he's had a great season.
And now we continue with the handing round of that playoff championship trophy, which is now liberally filled with some champagne. That's what Russell Monteith is just drunk out of there. He takes it round. Of course, it's been a big season for him. He's picked up a record this season, hasn't he, Fred?
That's right, Peter, he has. He's got the most power play goals, and who used to hold that record, I don't know, but he's had a great season, and he's done that again tonight, scoring the big power play goal. And this big man from Toronto, Ontario, has done a good job for the Fife Flyers.
Yeah, Fred Pollini's record's finally going after all those years. He held it from the late 80s right the way through until a few weeks ago. So much so, in fact, the last time we were covering a game for this program at Fife, Fred Pollini's name was still in the program. Now Mr. Monteith.
And records are there to be broken, and I hope he comes back to Fife because he's been a good attribute to ice hockey.
Here's Samuel. Andy Samuel taking it around with that playoff beard. Fairly obvious now. Of course, this tradition of playoff beards, Fred Pollini, did you ever grow one of them?
Well, in saying that, we all tried to, at different times. And in my junior career back in Canada, we tried to, but in those days, we were too young to grow any facial hair. But in Guildford, we didn't go that far, but you really see the tradition with Fife. It's really broken down. All the young guys really don't have the beard. So I think it's just a team concept thing. As you know, you spoke to Stan many times about it in Guildford.
And the celebrations continue here at the Fife Ice Arena. Everyone wants to feel of that cup. Everyone wants to clap the people that are holding it up. And everyone wants to join in with the celebrations. With now, of course, the Millennium season for the British National League. Done and dusted. It's Stephen Murphy's turn now, and listen to that cheer. What a wonderful cheer.
Well, Stephen Murphy gets the cup, and everybody's standing up. And this guy is obviously getting the loudest cheer out here for the great year he's had. Look at everybody standing up out of their seats, Peter. That's just marvelous. I played, like I said, I played this rink 14 years ago, and this is what it's all about. These people, they live and die to win, and they've got the best of it tonight.
What a standing ovation for young Murphy there. What's your advice to someone like him, Fred? I mean, he's so young, yet he's had such a successful season.
I would say where else could the kid go? I mean, at 17 years old, I'd really like to see him over in North America, trying out for a junior A team, which are affiliate teams with the NHL organizations. And I think, the only way this kid could go is up. I think coming back here, everyone's going to expect too much out of him. I'd like to see him in North America and give it a go, because he's still at that tender age, and goalies take a little bit longer to develop.
Now, the other ever popular Frank Morris, taking it round, holding it up, saving the moment, enjoying it all. He's worked hard for his team again this year, and played well as well, solid at the back, and also not afraid to come forward and zip through the neutral zone and score some crucial goals.
You see the young players here. Here's young Gary Ward, number 20, who never got much ice time, none at all, in fact. But everybody wanted him to have the cup, and all the fans giving him a clap. And that's what it's got to be nice for these young kids in the lineup learning. They're sitting on the bench, all these experiences. It's got to be great for them.
No one's going home in Concordia at the moment, that's for sure. They're all staying here, nice and solid in the Fife Ice Arena, where despite the ice, I have to say, it feels really rather warm. I wonder why that is. All that celebration, all that warmth coming through now for the Fife Flyers. It's taken around the ice by Gary Wishart. Big name for Fife, of course, Wishart.
Yeah, his father has been a part of the committee for a long time. It's nice to see his boy come through. And you see young Finley here, number 9, out here with the cup. And as I said, these are the young kids of the future for the Flyers.
Still the enthusiasm for the crowd. They're not giving up. They've got lots more applause where this has come from. And the stories over the beers and the drams being sucked after the game tonight, with also a little bit of a birthday party.
I think it's young Greg's birthday here.
Yeah.
And he's just all red in the face there.
Now the turn of
number 7, came out of retirement, came back over here after Christmas and done a great job.
When they go back into the dressing room, Fred, and you sit down and they've got the cup there, and it's going to be maybe a little quiet moment of reflection.
I think so. I think they'll reflect. You know, you'll see ice bags all over the injuries throughout these playoffs. They'll sit down amongst each other and really think about what happened here and really be, obviously, really appreciative of winning again this Sport Cup, especially in front of their home crowd.
Here they are then, the Scottish champions, the Christmas Cup champions, the British National League champions, and now the British National League playoff champions for the Millennium season. A tremendous achievement for the Fife Flyers, and what a wonderful way to win this playoff championship in their own arena. And obviously, we've been here to share these celebrations with our NTL and Morgan Stanley Dean Witter British National League Game of the Week. And obviously we hope you've enjoyed our programs over the last few weeks.
And you know, Peter, the nice thing about all this is that there's no trouble.
No trouble at all.
And that's what makes ice hockey a good family supportive game here.
And now all the players go round with the trophy all the way round the ice, savouring these victorious moments. And the crowd, well, the celebrations here at Kirkcaldy are going to go long into the night. Freddie and I guess, will probably join in as well. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage of the British National League with those games and also the playoff games as well. Just one final word from you, Fred, about the season.
It's just been a great hockey season for the Fife Flyers, and they were a class act tonight, and this has been a great advert for ice hockey.
Well, from Fred and from me, Peter Gordon, we'll leave you from Scotland. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you again soon.